Go,
Oh
go.
yeah, welcome to the stream, fellas. We're gonna get fucking Shrek today.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I learned how to be gay today.
What?
I learned how to be gay today. I seriously, I had
Just barely? Didn't you serve a
seriously.
mission? I served a mission. Just kidding.
No, that teaches you how to be obnoxious and retarded. No,
No,
I learned how to be gay.
I thought we all learned around the tree of life.
Is the Tree of Life gay?
The shower.
The shower. Oh, yeah. We talked about this. I didn't have the Tree of Life.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So
You
there
didn't-
was.
So you didn't learn to be gay on the mission. That's why
Yeah.
kids these days, they don't learn to be gay like us old timers.
I know they got it easy now. They gotta learn butt sex the hard way. There's a significant drop in sodomy ever since they got rid of the Tree of Life. Which, I thought I was gonna have some fun in the MTC. Nope. I didn't have any fun because all the gay sex went away after the Tree of Life. But I was in between the Tree of Life going away and hot chicks being allowed to come on missions. So I didn't get the good gay sex and I didn't get the good straight sex. I was in the purgatory of missionary degeneracy.
You're like Corolla, who complains that he came post AIDS, but post Coke, but pre AIDS, or something like that. Like he said he came after all of that, so he didn't get any of the fun of being a celebrity.
Anyway, I learned how to be gay because I had a training today, and it might have been the gayest training I've ever had in my life. Oh. It's actually a good example.
It's a government training.
Yeah.
Government trainings are just basically gay.
They are fucking gay. Okay, so speaking of Corolla, this is a good example of chick think, right? So, we got a lot of trainings, and almost all of them are redundant bullshit, but at least some of them have some sort of a half-assed justification. This one was leadership training. And the only reason I had to be in leadership training is because I have my qualification to be a lead technician, which means almost nothing. It basically means they come to me and tell me what they're going to do that day, and I tell the other technicians, you do this, you do this, you do this, I'll do this. I still have a job. I'm not a manager or anything like that. But anyway, so this is leadership training. The first part of the training, mega chick think, right? And it was actually a woman this time. There were Legos. There's seriously Legos on our table. And not real Legos. Not even knockoff Mega Blocks. I'm talking about the Legos that you would get for a 2-year-old. Like those big the Duplo whatever. And she's like, so we're going to talk about what a career is. When does the career start?
Really?
That's a question. It's a trick question because it's always there. It starts when you're a baby. Oh, is that why you got his fucking baby toys? It's like, so we got the steps of a career. First off, put this block down, and that's your foundation. Put a block down for foundation. Ah, fuck you. Okay. And then, okay, the next part is, I don't know, experience. So put another block down for experience. Oh, fuck you. We put another block down. Building this retarded nonsense. Anyway, so there's several blocks through all the steps of a career. And we get to the end. She's like, so look around. Look at all of this full building. That's your career. And look around. Do any of these two careers look exactly the same? And we're all like, oh my God. No, they don't.
You melted the brain.
And then it got gayer somehow. Because after she was done, another guy comes in, right? And he is telling us, so here's the thing with chick think, right? Chick think doesn't just have to be chicks.
No, Gavin Newsom is like king of chick think.
Oh, fuck yeah. I usually don't watch videos. I just listen to them while I'm doing other.
Me too.
But sometimes I will watch something, and when Adam Carolla says the deep leg cross, he means fucking deep.
Yeah, right? he pretzels himself.
Yeah, no, I make fun of Jordan Peterson for sitting like this, right? He sits like that, and it's gay for sure. But Gavin Newsom, I can't even do it.
Yeah,
it's like his his shins are perpendicular, the opposite way of what they should be.
They literally are trying to outdo each other, like on how far they can leg cross.
Anyway, so I'm in this training, and we're learning about leadership with a bunch of, like, most of these guys. There's a couple women in there, but most of them are guys. And I know most of these guys are like dyed-in-the-wool, red-blooded, blue-collar Republican MAGA voters and shit like that. Fuck participation trophies and shit like that. But the thing is, people don't know how much they can change. People don't understand how much they change based on the different situations that they're in. And that includes, like, as soon as you go into admin, any type of admin thing, it's chick think. It's completely dominated by chick think.
Managerialism is 100%.
Oh, yeah. And these dudes, most of them aren't in the admin or the managerial class, but it's like as soon as they enter the room, they become faggy. They get in there and they immediately go to chick think. And if you don't go to chick think, you're not part of the group, and they know right away. Okay, so
you got to think about meetings and what could harm. Like, what could harm, and when could we have a meeting? When could we have a meeting about this, and what might get harmed? Like, that's about the extent of what the jobs are.
And so here's one of the best examples of chick think I can think of. The guy gets up there and he's asking us, what are the qualities of a bad leader? And he's got a whiteboard. He's going to write all these down. And he fucking does. He asked for like 30 of them. Holy shit. He never stopped. And then obviously we knew after we were done with that, he's like, what are the qualities of a good leader? And I want to just be like, just put not in front of all the things you put on the other side. He didn't want to do that. But so basically what it boils down to is everything on the bad leadership side, every word or trait that people put up there, you could either you'd basically call it a synonym to the word mean. Good one. The synonym to the word nice. Compassion was up there. Empathy. I heard the word empathy so many times. And I actually got pushback on my answer because he called on me for one of the bad qualities. What's the quality of a bad leader, Jared? I was like,
empathy.
I was like, not knowledgeable on the source material. And I got pushback on that.
Really?
Like that. I seriously did. I said two of them. The first one was neurotic, and that kind of made people uncomfortable. That's the people.
That's what James Damore got canceled for. You can't say that word.
Yeah, I said neurotic, and he's like, well, yeah, that could also be good. No, it's not good in a leader, okay? But they immediately turn on me, and when I say not knowledgeable on the subject matter, like of the job, right? This guy the trainer, he immediately goes on the defensive, and he's like, well, let me put it to you this way. So I don't know anything. Like, I know dick about waste handling, right? But I'm a trainer, and I got to put together trainings on waste handling. But Ryan over here, I know he is a supervisor in the waste handling group, and I know that he knows what he's talking about. So I go to him and ask him about the waste handling and any questions that I have about that. So it shows humility and me knowing where my limitations are. And I didn't say anything after this because I was like, I don't want this training to drag on. But in my head, I'm like, oh, you're a middleman. You're just a fucking, okay. Like, how about we have Ryan do the waste handling training? Because what you're doing is training people to do a thing you don't know how to do.
When you guys reviewed who does the waste handling managing, did you make sure all the people handling the waste reflected the same skin color as the population that the waste handling was being done for?
I was surprised he didn't say diversity at all in that training. Like, seriously. But I did hear empathy about 1,000 fucking times. And every time I wanted to be like, gay.
Did you see Matt Walsh's show today?
No.
I saw this on Matt Walsh's show, just like the court and all that stuff. Just from being on Twitter a lot, you can get ahead of their shows, but Matt Walsh covers it pretty thoroughly. There was a major thing happening that the waste management in Washington D.C. blew up and is flooding the Potomac River.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
And like 200, like almost like 100 million more gallons than was ever released of like gas in the in that pipeline, in that oil explosion, or of shit is being released into the Potomac River. And then they went and reviewed those departments things. They went and talked to them, and it was all DEI stuff. Like, we made sure that our DEI department reflects the skin color of the population, and that's just all they did forever.
Oh, I'm glad that we got a bunch of gay people in there who can't handle the problem. Thanks for that.
Yep, and the person running it was a person who felled up from Flint, Michigan. Like, the person directly from Flint, Michigan is the one who got put in charge of that.
Oh my God, the Illuminati they're shit posters. The whoever, the Jews or whoever's orchestrating all this shit, they're hilarious. They did that on purpose because that's so funny. They're like, well, society's gonna collapse, but let's throw them a bone and at least make it funny.
Yeah, so you're talking about government jobs, talking to you about management and its waste stuff. I'm positive it's more important that your skin color matches the people that you're training than knowing how to do the thing.
Well, I can't believe the trainer of this thing told me, oh, actually, the boss of the job does not need to know how to do the job. It's like, that's the one you're going to push back on? Not the guy
that's the managerial class, man. The pigs don't need to know what the horse is doing.
Yeah.
The piggies don't need to know.
I mean, I get it at like a certain level, right? Like if you go up the chain all the way to like the president of the United States, I get he's the boss of a lot of people whose jobs he doesn't know how to do, right? Like you don't have to know how to run a post office in order to be a president. That would be unreasonable of me to request of you. But we're talking about like direct supervisors. And by the way, they do that gay thing where they're like, who can be a leader? And we all know what they want us to say. I'm like, I'm not going to fucking say it. I am not going to fucking say it. Who can be a leader? And then some dead-eyed Republican boomer in the back's like, anyone. Like, don't say that. You know it's not true. You know that's a fucking when you said that, 18 people that you specifically work with flashed in front of your head who you know are incapable of being a leader. Don't say anyone could be a leader. They cannot.
I'm actually to the point that most people are, if they're direct leaders, if they don't know how to be hands-on with the people they're leading, they're pretty bad leaders. I can get like maybe a little bit of like a larger, higher organizational chart thing, but tell me there's a thing in Elon Musk's company he doesn't really know how to do very well. You know what I mean? Maybe some of the.
I mean, he's a spurg.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's things in Jeff Bezos' company he doesn't know how to do. I'm sure he understands all the IT things and stuff like that, but like how
there's like a lockout tag out methodology you got to do for
sure.
But anyway, all those leadership things are dumb. It's like they ever help anybody actually become like a leader. I took a governmental click-through computer thing and I came out of it fucking William Wallace.
It made me gay.
Yeah. Flip, are we hearing you?
He just hasn't said anything.
I don't think we're hearing him.
Oh, are you talking, Flip? I didn't even notice.
I don't think he said much, but.
Oh yeah, he's trying to talk. We can't hear you.
I could just tell that it wasn't. But all this stuff that you're talking to me about, was that you?
Yeah, nope. That was me. Flip still.
Talking about all this stuff, and you're talking about like these conservative guys, and then they get like a little bit of power, they become a sort of thing or whatever. For some reason, it still reminds me of the Yellowstone meme. Just all feels like the Yellowstone meme. As soon as like some blue collar guy gets moved up and says, "We need to make sure we do the procedures right at this company. We don't want to discriminate against anybody." Well, but them Iraqis is just like us, and will do great under democracy. They worship their God in their way. No bother me, I reckon.
This is a.
How about now?
Yeah, we can hear you. I don't know if you ever saw this is Arthur Morgan, right? You played Red Dead 2?
Oh, yeah.
No, I never did play that one.
Okay,
but I've watched some videos of it.
Yeah, Arthur Morgan, the protagonist of Red Dead 2. It's a fun game. It's really well made. It's really good. Rockstar makes good games, right? But the more time goes on, the more you could get a little bit annoyed with him as a character because he's a cool character. It's just that he's always talking about what a bad man he is. we's bad, man. We steal from folks. And then you go like be a bodyguard for a bunch of suffragettes, right?
Yeah.
Like, what? No, this guy's an outlaw who points guns at people's heads and blows their brains out if they don't give him his money. I reckon women ought to vote.
Does he say that? Is that in there?
He doesn't say that exactly, but he might. I
can see him doing it like as a mercenary, like pay me the money, I don't give a shit or something.
Yeah,
like
I know.
That.
But I remember a bunch of people posting, like it was on some trans subreddit where they post a meme about Arthur Morgan dealing with a trans woman, where they're all like, listen, where I come from, if the missus says she's a missus, then she's a missus. Yeah. Well, the funny part was the conservatives started clowning on that. Like, he would not say that. And in my head, I was like, well, it's retarded, but yeah, he would. Like, that character would say that. He would absolutely be like, trans women is women, I reckon. Arthur Morgan is the Yellowstone meme. Just if you ever...
Well, I mean, they put it in all this stuff. Did you watch this video of these guys who like started narrating old video games as the way modern video games are?
I watched the Zelda one. I haven't seen this one.
I don't think so. Gotcha.
Like at the end of like the Zelda one of the things he says is like, "War is bad. It's not."
Yeah.
Good. Like Zelda says that as he's walking around.
Nice work, Mario. You grabbed Bowser's tail. Spin the control stick in a circular motion. Then press the B button to release at the right time. I believe in you, Mario. You got this. Good.
No, it can't be. I can. Come on, troops. Let's.
Nice, Mario. You did it. You defeated Bowser. Before you collect the last star, be sure you're ready to proceed and have completed every.
Nice. Even though the battle is won, I feel a kind of emptiness inside. A poor creature like Bowser, with a simple hug have solved his predicament, with hope have saved him. As I ponder these questions, I fly off into the distance, ready to embrace my princess. I'm coming for you, Peach.
That Zelda one was... I think the Zelda one was even better, because holy shit. It gave me flashbacks to playing God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, because that is that game. And yeah.
Link, the four ghosts have taken the four flames of Glomban. You must call me if you need me. Link, there's a gold skeleton.
I can sense a skeleton nearby.
Make sure to collect that gold skeleton.
It tells you every little thing to look for. Like you get right by something.
The more gold skeletons you collect, the more gold skeletons you'll have.
Oh, this gold skeleton will help. Nice.
Link, you've acquired 15 gold skeletons. Acquire 10 more and you'll unlock...
Watch out, Link! There's an enemy! Remember, any enemies that you fight, you can see their...
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Link, be careful! There are enemies!
You're just like us, Link. A killer. We're just refugees.
You're just like us, Link.
Remember, any enemies that you fight, you can see their information on the start screen.
Link, use your pet.
And that's the second one down.
Great job, Link. You've unlocked a new chest to use. Call me if you need me.
Nice. Small key. Nice.
Link, you got a small key. Nice work.
Watch out, an enemy!
Like 5 nice, you got a small keys.
Remember, any enemies that you fight, you can see their information on the start screen.
What the skeleton warrior said to me is troubling. Damn, they're just like me. War is bad.
I remember. Did you ever play the Uncharted game?
Yeah, I did one of them. Yeah.
Okay,
so I only got halfway through it. I couldn't take it.
Uncharted 2. That was my favorite of the games. But I just remember, like, it totally takes me out of the game when, like, you go through and you're killing all of these mercenaries who are trying to, like, slaughter people and plunder stuff and trying to kill you. And then you get to the end, you fight the warlord, and in the fight with him, you're about to beat him, and you got the gun at him. He's like, "Do it, Drake. You're just like me. We both killed you. How many mercenaries did you kill?" And instead of being like, I no, buddy, no, it's totally. I shoot people who are trying to kill me or kill other people. You just shoot people. You shot a woman.
But it deconstructed your morality and made the game make your brain rise above. Didn't you feel that?
Just like me, Drake. And then Drake like takes the gun off. He's like, I'm nothing like you, and walks away. And luckily, God solves his problem because the zombies they unleash go and tear the guy to pieces so that he doesn't have to have the blood on his hand. But you're like, wait a minute. I had headshots on like 68 mercenaries on my way here to go to, and this is when you suddenly are like, I can't kill. I don't want to be like him. Okay.
It's so dumb. It's like that stuff. Like I talked about that movie, The Duel, or something like that, in 1400s France, and they're fighting each other to see who's telling the truth because God will help the person telling the truth. And in the middle, like the whole thing's really interesting and based off a true story you can look up and all that sort of stuff. And it's really well done between all the men because they're fighting about that and they're all going to fight. And then they're going to say God's going to tell who wins by the duel. And in the background, the woman's going like, oh, this is so toxic masculinity. The toxic masculinity like comes off you guys. Like, why can't you even ask what a woman's opinion is on the subject matter? And you're like, this is like a whole entire good show, except you have to have this shit commentary just thrusted in over on the side that never would have been there. Got to make sure somebody, the woman in there, has Dan McClellan's 2026 Bible politics. Because it's so stupid.
Did you ever, that reminds me, it's not super on topic, but it reminds me of, you ever hear about how Alexander Pushkin died? So Pushkin, very famous Russian poet, and he was such a dick. He would just constantly challenge people to duels, and that's how he died, was in a duel where like they went to do the duel and he got shot in the gut and he's like down on the ground, like, ugh, and he gets up like, nope, I still get my shot. And he shoots at the guy. I can't remember if he hit him or not, but he just like suffered for like a week. Just,
I guess that's a pretty cool way to go.
Yeah, you died with honor, faggot. Good job.
Yeah. So many things to get into. Is there stuff you guys wanted to talk about? Troy off the bat said he needed an explanation of what this thumbnail was, and it's esoteric, but it isn't. Everybody's got to know all about it because this is our future, kids. This is our future.
This is our future.
This is the incident at hand. This is clavicular. And clavicular, if you didn't know, got frame mogged by an ASU frat leader. This sounds stupid and esoteric, but it became the biggest thing on the internet that you ever heard of. I can prove it to you or show it to you. But if you know, clavicular is the guy we talked about before who does all the face mashing, the bone mashing to make his jaw look big, like does the face mewing. The clavicular term comes from they get a surgery to make their clavicle longer so that they'll get like even like a longer frame, right?
It needs to be fucking institutionalized. We got rid of lobotomies.
He 100% needs to be institutionalized. But it's a lot of people are saying it's like cis transing, like you're a male but you're transing into more male, right in front of people. And that's the future of what stuff's going on. But this stuff's getting like bigger than you can imagine. Like, wait, like hold on to your butts. But anyway, this is the big moment. He's getting frame mogged. And mogging, I guess, means alpha male of the group. And they just shortened it to Mog. So you get mogged. And if you remember, we were talking about Fuentes was mogging, what's his bucket? Pierce. Yeah, and Pierce had this guy on and made a fool of him. Like Pierce is, I learned a new word this week. I learned it from Doug Wilson. He said it with Tucker Carlson. He said this term. Let me see what it's called. It's a German word. It is called Fremdschämen. And that's the German verb for feeling the embarrassment for the other person you're watching who should be feeling that embarrassment. You're feeling the embarrassment for them. Fremdschämen with it.
Germans got some very specific, but like they're like hyper specific words, but they're awesome. Like Schadenfreude is like, fuck? Why don't we have a word for that? I guess we just take theirs, but it's an awesome fucking word.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, this
I like German literalism. Like, when I was a kid, I was really interested in submarines, and I read all about U-boats. I'm like, what? Why are they called U-boats? Oh, it's short for the German word for submarine. What's the German word for submarine? Unterseeboot. Oh. Okay, you have to think about Latin and Greek, and what would this be if we were fancy Latin? The Germans are like, the boat goes unter the sea, so it is Unterseeboot.
So remember, for this guy and for these young Zoomers who run around him, they all just say the only thing that matters is mogging a person, is looking cooler, like dominating them in the room, that's why Hitler's stuff had whatever, it had aura, right? Hitler's cuts are fire or something like that. They're just talking about the edits are fire is what they'll always say. It's just
Did you ever see
those edits look cool from
Did you ever see somebody dug up one of his posts on like either 4chan or Reddit where he was talking about being piss mogged?
No, is somebody pissed better than him in the
Yeah, no, he just went to piss in a urinal, and he's like, and then this big black dude comes in, and it's like he was looking at me as he started pissing, and you could hear that horsecock stream just like just fire hosing against that porcelain like it was nothing. Oh man, he piss mugged me. I got to work on my stream game, bros.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look into it, like, so all these people start making like these jokes about it, of like, so this guy, 6'5" Australian Terrichad androgenic, has flown to the U.S. and bone mashed in order to hunt down the ASU frat leader and engage in a mog off to avenge clavicular after the brutal frame mog incident that took place last week. Clavicular attempts to reclaim his #1 mogger rank after frame mogging the entire runway of Fashion Week, and like this stuff's like getting all sorts of people are like spreading around, and they call stuff like just days after the horrorsome ASU frame mog incident took place, Clavicular got into an intense gesture maxing competition with a stranger and got brutally dance mogged. Yeah,
gesture maxing.
Yeah, gesture maxing is like trying to have the most aura by being the best comedian around. Yeah, so this stuff just it goes and goes and goes, and where is it here? Anyway, they say, like, look at this. Fans at ASU have bonded together, grief maxing, and created a memorial for Clav on campus. Today marks 1 week on Earth shattering ASU frame mog incident took place.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And so then Twitter went crazy with it, and but then I got to show you when he went on Piers Morgan, because then Piers Morgan could save you because anybody can mog Piers Morgan, right?
Poor cuck.
Yeah.
Clavicular.
This is on Dave Portnoy's channel.
You know what clavicular's name means?
Is it like the bone or something?
So yeah, the bone. But then
yeah,
it's like a lengthening surgery of the surgery that you can. Whatever. You can lengthen the surgery. So this all goes back to frame mogging, because
so it's really bad that he got frame mogged because that's like his name.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why it's brutal.
Yeah, and yeah, because he got frame mogged, and he want the guy that frame mogged him, his frame's wider.
Oh.
And you can tell that when he turned around at first, Clav didn't realize it, but then
the ASU frat leader
started to frame him.
Nobody even knows the guy's name. They just say the ASU frat leader.
And the ASU frat leader frame mogged him because of all.
He was like the #1 gesture maxer, if you had to say, like at this company.
At this company?
Yeah, who's the #1 gesture max?
#1 gesture maxer at this company?
Oh.
I mean, Nate does it at points, like when he's like tweets and stuff. He does.
No, I have no idea what gesture max is.
Oh,
where were you when Clav got brutally frame mogged by the ASU frat leader?
I don't know what I was in my mom's basement, actually. I was deciding to take a shit.
I was at home.
he just frame mogged clavicular, and I was just in shock first time he got mogged. I just told my mom, go make some nuggets, pizza bagels, Pop-Tarts.
Are you trying to like shut off that bad memory?
I just don't pay attention to that, so I wouldn't know.
How's your recovery been since then?
Not too easy.
Sometimes I wake up and I don't know what to do.
Just keep going on, brother.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
That's all we can do.
If you need help, I've also been going through the same thing. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Where were you when Clav got brutally frame mogged by the ASU frat leader?
I don't know what he's.
Yeah. So hold on here. The stuff just goes and goes, right? People are making songs about it, all that sorts of stuff. Even Matan was asking people about it. Like, do you think that the number 2 frame mogger will be able to resuscitate Clav's career by showing up and showing down with the ASU frat leaders type stuff?
I mean, how do you
Dad got into Lobstermaxxing.
look at him? He's a 5 at best.
Oh, come on. Will you give him a chance?
I'm not giving him a chance. I mean, it's facts. It's genetic. He's got a negative cantle tail. There's no upper orbital support.
You know, that cantle tail. Have you seen that cantle tail one? We talked on that about here before. You can like look up your cantle tail, and you either have a predator cantle tail or a nice guy cantle tail. And from like you can use some sort of digital thing to see like the angle of your eyes. And if you have predator eyes, girls aren't going to like you. And if you have like the different ones,
The eyes, you got a weak zygoma projection, so there's no mid-face lift to compensate.
What are you even talking about? Where are you learning these words?
You've never heard of clavicular. I mean,
I feel like okay. This is. You got your whole Charlie Brown Chris superstition. This is my superstition about myself. It is definitely not true, but I'm starting to believe it. Is that the way the world works? Is that like some Oprah Winfrey level bullshit manifest stuff, but it's not manifest like I say something cool and the universe does it for me. It's like I make a really dumb joke and then the universe is like, all right, I'm going to take that to the most retarded conclusion possible because I like for a while now, I've been like, you know what? Physiognomy is real. You can always judge a book by its cover. You look at a person, you could tell if they're dumb. You could tell. You probably tell if they'll be articulate too. You probably tell how good they are at sports. All of this that you just look at their face. That's all you need. And then the universe was like, "Yep, that's totally true." And here's the most retarded version of what you just said. I'm like, it was a joke.
Yep.
There's so many more.
I will say,
was mid-ascend maxing when ASU frat leader and Foyd after getting mogged by a PSL 8.
If you know what Foyd is the new word for
woman
online, basically.
Carriage.
They're calling Amelia Pink Foyd nowadays.
And hard to send maxing to PSL 6. Is squad collecting moggers enough to reclaim PSL 7 GigaChat status? Or is PSL...
There's a if you go watch the Finn Wolfhard, we can't show it on here because we'll get it taken down, but Finn Wolfhard on Saturday Night Live, they had a whole skit about this too. So
Cell 8 just genetically different. What does any of that mean? Why is there a scale to what the fuck is PSL? Someone please explain this. Clavicular goes to the gym after burger maxing and gesture gooning for months and starts a weight scope after he can't with what he used to. Eyes emoji, confirming he's now a level 4 PSL Moid. I personally think it'll only be a week before he ascends to 8 PSL Terra Jim Zell Chad Pre. Did they update the fucking dictionary? Was there like a hardware update that I was not aware of? There's even like an anime arc in this.
This is what follows up the trans thing, by the way. I mean, so just like we read Judith Butler, we've got to watch this.
Well, number 2 ranked Chad Androgenic is flying to America to stop ASU frat leader and get revenge for free mogging clavicle, whatever the fuck his name is. What? He's like in America. Number 2 Chad Energetic has landed in America and is actively searching for the ASU frat leader who framed mogged clavicular.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. So we saw the tweet the first time. I thought that was a joke. Is Androgenic a real guy?
He's a real guy who really showed up. He really tried to show up the ASU frat leader, but he couldn't find the ASU frat leader. And he showed him pictures of him going all over town of ASU looking for the ASU frat leader. But they fear that the ASU frat leader ducked him and would not take up the challenge.
I 100% thought that was a joke.
No, it's
like
real.
I thought somebody was doing a play on clavicular.
And he really showed up with his face all beaten up from the bone maxing, because he was beating up the bones on his face to make the bones show and chisel up better. And they go around with like back massagers and put them on the bones of their faces right there, so that their bones will give mini breaks, so that they'll grow back stronger.
By the ASU frat leader, he spiked his cortisol.
So the cortisol thing is they go around with their Apple Watches on, and they track who kept their heartbeat and their cortisol better when they got around people. So part of like it is watching to make sure that, you know, like one of the things in poker is if you could like read people's heart rates and stuff like that, you'd be able to like count them on bluffing and stuff like that. These guys are testing who is the Mog by who keeps their cortisol down in situations.
Troy was spot on. He said it's the beautiful ones. And
That's exactly.
It totally like we kind of compared the trends and the hedonistic millennials and Gen Zers to the beautiful generation, but this is fucking. You listen to Clavicular, he sounds exactly like a beautiful generation rap would if it could speak, because nothing fucking matters. Like, he's not religious. He's not Christian at all. He's not really even right wing. He's talking about how Gavin Newsom is going to beat JD Vance.
None of it
totally mogs him. Yeah, he's a nihilist hedonist.
Yeah, he's a nihilist hedonist for sure. So one of the things that I caught the lobster thing here, but I made this joke on the lobsters, Lobstermaxxing, because Jordan Peterson says dominant high serotonin lobsters adopt upright, spread out postures, while defeated low serotonin lobsters adopt a drooping, submissive posture. Peterson uses this to advocate for confidence, suggesting that standing up straight with your shoulders back can positively affect neurochemistry and social standing. And so I put the clavicular, the ASU frat leader, and then this meme of it. And there's Peterson. What do you mean by frame? What do you mean by mogged? And then boom, there it is. We got Alejandro frame mogging David Archuleta.
Did you see my comment on that? I was like, you caught on camera the exact moment David Archuleta realized he was gay.
He had a chance before that until he got mogged in that moment. And he's, oh, my cortisol made me gay.
Yeah, there was a cute little cheerleader back home that was gonna wait for him, and then he's like, oh fuck, I can't I can't anymore. I'm gonna F this guy in the B.
These guys are picking up on it. When the guy who says the closing prayer says a better prayer than the guy who did the opening prayer, is that prayer mogging? 100%. Way more aura with that closing prayer. Way more aura. Steve said we got testimony moggers who can cry, who cries at the right moment in the testimony. Yeah, I mean, if you cry at the wrong moment in the testimony, you can mess up your.
The Relief Society president will sob mog you.
You can't out sob.
You can't
out sob a sob Becky.
Yeah.
A sob Becky. That's what a female is. She's a Becky. Yeah. You can't out sob them.
A cryfoid. Holy.
A cryfoid. You cannot beat them. So Pierce Morgan decided he needed to dress down clavicular because that's always what needs to happen as soon as something happens on the internet.
If anybody's good at clowning on fuckers, it's Pierce Morgan.
Asmongold watching it.
I didn't play the song, so I've got nothing.
Oh, Pierce is asking him about when he and Fuentes and Andrew Tate all went to the
Oh, of Florida. Course he is.
They went to the Florida thing and they listened to Kanye West's song about Hitler.
Of course, that's what Pierce Morgan would ask. Come on, Pierce. There is so much to go on with this weirdo. You could say so many things to clown on him. Like, you played a song glorifying Adolf Hitler, and I find that downright disgusting. What do you think about that? Shut up, Pierce. Tell him he's a douche. He hits his face with a hammer.
Yeah, so just listen to this. Like, listen, knowing how these guys think about the world and what he's obviously sitting there doing because he streams 24/7. We're watching his stream of him on Pierce and what's he playing to with his crowd, and he's just trying to mock him.
Would you like to apologize for being involved in that?
I didn't play the song, so I've got nothing to say about that.
You're not sorry about singing along to it?
I had nothing to do with it, Pierce, at the end of the day.
You did sing it?
I had nothing to do with it, Pierce. Like, I don't know why you're trying to, constantly circle back. It's like, I'm not political. I've answered it. I've said all I'm going to say.
Did Pierce just get mogged?
I've just given you 3 opportunities, giving you express regret for people who offended
Yeah.
themselves.
No, and the thing is that, like, Clav is handling this in the right way, by the way. Because the reason why is that if you express regret, you also express accountability and ownership of it. So if he gets you to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did this," it means I did this.
Would you like to apologize for being with Ghislaine Maxwell and being in the Epstein files? Would you like to apologize for that?
No.
Hey.
Calls her Ghislaine Maxwell, yeah.
Space, no apology.
Space, no apology.
Epstein had aura.
Epstein had aura.
Epstein had aura, Pierce.
Oh my God. This is insane. Saying no is crazy. Exactly. Because Piers Morgan, he knows the game that he's playing. He knows this.
Well, the thing is, Piers, I'm not political and I didn't play the song. So that's kind of all there is to it. Right. And I find it quite silly to me that you're with a #1 Looksmaxer. And instead of asking how you could ascend so that, your wife wouldn't tweet out captions like, "When my husband's away, Mr. Sud comes out to play." Maybe if you ask me how to ascend, then that would stop happening to you.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so, you're distracting, that's fine. You're having fun.
Oh my God.
I'm just curious what you genuinely feel.
Bro, like, holy mogged? Yeah, bro, like, he did. He got absolutely fucking mogged. The one.
Yeah. So
I have man tits and I'm missing a tooth and I could mog Piers Morgan.
Yeah, and so Pierce gives you that friend. That's even who Douglas Wilson was talking about, because he had on Tucker Carlson and he was asking Tucker Carlson about it. He said, "Well, did you watch Piers Morgan?" He's like, "I can't watch Piers Morgan because I have the framed, what's the word again? Framed Schaden."
Oh yeah. Oh, it's, man, he's embarrassing against these. I don't know. I don't want to say groiper. Clav isn't really a groiper. The fags on the right. Like, he's terrible. He's horribly equipped to deal with them. The dude, does he not know how gay he sounds when he says stuff like that? Like,
he wants to apologize. What?
Would you like to apologize for singing and dancing to that offensive song? Oh my God, gay! No, I'll dance to it. All right, I'll do it right now. I'll tell you Hitler was a bad guy, and then I'll sing along and dance to that song.
Yeah, it's all just kind of embarrassing, but there's also a thing of like not getting the game the kids are playing at all. But at the same time, too, there's a thing of like it is all just a game. Like they're just born of the internet, man, and they are the internet. They are born and bred with the internet. It's the what is that Bane thing? You know what I mean? Like, you guys know about the internet. We are born of and in the internet, and you don't even know what creature you're dealing with here. We're half internet brain. We are. It's in our DNA.
You think they're mogging your ally?
Yeah.
I was born mogging, raised in it.
Says, "Don't show Pierce Springtime for Hitler in Germany" from the producers. Yeah, I mean it's corny, but I mean that's what's going on. So speaking of, here's Ryan from the Boys casting, comedian Ryan Long, brutally flame mogs random dying man. You want to know what's funny? So the thing that I competed in bodybuilding was called men's physique, which was not full bodybuilder stuff. It's this stuff. And this is one of the things that's interesting about the world. Because like we watched the Bad Bunny show. It's just my general question about anything. People getting most popular in the world are all mid at everything. Like who's the actors that are in every fucking thing? And they're mid as can be. And you're like, how did that mid person get known for this thing? Who are we talking about? Pedro Pascal, like all these different people. And then Bad Bunny's making the Super Bowl, and he's the most mid rapper and SoundCloud music maker in history, and he's the biggest known person. And now the person we know who does the mogging the most. Well, this is the world that I competed in, and it's so dumb. Like all these guys do is that sort of framing stuff right there. And those guys like Clavicular and those other guys aren't even anywhere near the beginning level of this stuff, but they're the world's most famous at it now. That's just how it goes. But back to this. David Archuleta on the Mormon Stories. I mean, that's all that we're just getting about frame mogged. I guess John DeLynn frame mogged Archuleta out of the thing. He out aura'd him. He made the show about him. At least I guess according to some of his critics, right? Did you guys watch the episode at all?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Like the person I'm least interested in interviewing, the second most least interesting person.
But he came out. Have you heard of that before?
Oh, he's gay? No way.
Yeah, there's a book.
The little chubby Twinkie kid was gay this whole time.
There's a book.
Did my camera disappear?
Yeah,
he's having a book. Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, my dad's got a pretty solid gaydar. And I think
did he know before?
Oh yeah, for sure. My mom was watching him like when he first came out. Was it America's Got Talent or was it? I think it was American Idol. She's like, look at this. This boy's a nice little Mormon boy. My dad's like, he's gay.
Gay. Saw like in 2 seconds.
Yeah. No, my mom would get mad at my dad for saying that.
I think I have a gaydar, but I don't think I even start to register that at like young kids like that. Like young.
Oh no, my dad,
Mormon kid.
My dad has the most proficient gaydar I've ever seen. Seriously, there's 3 kids in our neighborhood growing up. One of them was Gerardo's husband, and it was super fucking obvious. Like I could tell he was gay. When
There's some young kids for sure, but I know 3 or 4 guys in high school. I guess the clock's still ticking, but I could have sworn. And no, they're married with kids.
No, so Gerardo's husband. I don't know. When we were in his ward at first, I think I was like 14 and he was like 10, and even then, my dad was like, "Yeah, he's gay," and I was like, "Yeah, he's gay. He's definitely fucking gay." And and then there was another kid that lived across the street from us, and my dad was like, "Yeah, that kid's gay." And I was like, well, I don't know about that, Dad. That's a little bit much. And yeah, that kid's gay. He's a drag queen too. And there was another kid that lived 2 doors down from that kid. And my dad's like, yeah, he's gay. I was like, Dad, he's 5. What are you talking about? He's not. There's no way you could know that. Yeah, he's gay. He's got a husband now.
Is Bad Bunny gay?
Isn't he bisexual?
Did you ask him? Like, has he announced that?
I'm gonna make a video about how Bad Bunny is an industry plant, and it's very obvious when you realize that they tricked all of these people who can't even understand what he's saying into being a fan of his. But then I came across like a million weird pictures of him, so I wanted to show you guys. Apparently, Bad Bunny's whole thing is the all-seeing eye. This must have been when he was just trying to be initiated into Hollywood because he must not have been able to afford a really good makeup artist. This is some sort of prosthetic all-seeing eye that he had attached to himself. Here is a picture of him with the all-mocking tongue out. Obviously, there's about 3 million pictures of him in a dress. Here is a picture of him covering up.
You guys know about the covering the eye thing, right?
No.
You guys don't know the covering the eye thing?
I don't.
You don't follow Illuminati stuff very well.
No.
Your peripheral maxing.
He's got domino nails, fingernails.
No. It's Illuminati stuff. The Eye of Providence, celebrity pictures. They cover an eye, and it's you haven't seen this. They cover one eye and they show, and it's to show that they're part of the Illuminati.
Okay, but like, I don't know. You take a trillion pictures of yourself. Eventually, you're gonna get one of the like. I don't know. I see all the Illuminati shit, and I'm like, I feel like if I were in charge of the cabal that runs the world, like if tomorrow they're like, all right, we're gonna choose some rando to be the king of the Illuminati. It's gonna be you, Jared. I'll be like, okay, first off, we're gonna stop giving people hints that we exist. All right, you want this thing to keep going? No more doing the triangle symbol. No more hinting to people. We're getting our imagery off the fucking dollar, by the way. We're not going to just tell everyone. And I don't know which one of you decided that if you fold up a dollar a certain way, it would show the smoking Twin Towers, but that's got to go. That's stupid. We want this industry to run for a long time. We want our Illuminati posterity to thrive.
Yeah, and I've seen 1,000,001 of these things, and yeah, there's not a celebrity out there that doesn't have it. Here you go, stuff like this. Like, look at this. It's like, oh gosh, that ain't it. I clicked into it. Yeah, it's maybe a sexual pose, but everybody says it's a sign of the Illuminati.
Like, I love the idea, like, oh, we're a super duper secret organization, and we're going to constantly show you what we're doing.
Yeah.
This all plays into this. This isn't just one-off stuff, because I mean everything is sexual ritual abuse. And Cardin had on the guy who is reporting on all the apostle sexual ritual abuse stuff. And
I found out this week that for the last 10 years, this guy that I don't work closely with him, but I work with a guy, really nice dude, Mormon dude, hard worker, family man, flat earther.
Really?
An honest to God flat earther. And somebody told me about it a couple months ago. I was like, I don't know about that. And then I asked a couple people about it yesterday. And they're like, yeah, no, he's pretty open. You can go ask him about it. He'll tell you. He'll tell you about all of the conspiracy theories. And immediately I was like, what does he think about the Jews? And they're like, what? I was like, no, you don't understand. Conspiracy theories, there's a hierarchy, right? And a hierarchy of stupid, okay? Because if you believe that 9/11
celebrities
wasn't exactly the way that we were told that it was, that like it was set to explode, that's not that stupid. You might be wrong, but that's not very stupid, because it's weird. There's a lot of weird shit. You go up another level, the moon landing. It's kind of stupid to believe we didn't land on the moon, because a lot of the evidence is dumb, but nobody who believes the moon landing was faked believes that 9/11 was the way that they say it was, right? It's so the higher up the hierarchy you go, and flat Earth is like the tippy top of this hierarchy. You believe all the ones under it too, like all the time, even if they're completely unrelated. So like the flat Earth and also 9/11 being faked, you believe in all those things. And flat Earth is up here, that's at the top, and the Holocaust never happened is somewhere in the middle, and the Jews run the world is a little bit high. But if you believe in flat Earth, you probably believe that the Holocaust never happened and the Jews run the world and did 9/11.
Yeah. So here it all is. I've seen some way longer montages than just this stuff. Like but of course, it's like you said, I mean, I can see if you're somebody who takes 1,000,001 pictures, sooner or later, you're probably going to do a picture.
Well, it's probably the same guy that does the picture. Like they probably have a guy that is like a gay visionary, and he's like, all right, son, we're going to take some pictures of you. This is all the rage right now, to put one hand over your eye, but just barely so. Do it like that. And everybody thinks he's amazing, and he does a ton of pictures for celebrities.
That's both eyes.
And then all
what
the
does
other
that mean?
people. Yeah.
Double Illuminati.
Oh.
Well, ages ago, my coworker, we laughed so hard at ourselves because we thought it would be funny. We never did it. But we had this joke about, like, we're going to put up signs at the bus stop that say secret society meeting here Thursday, and in parentheses, wear a disguise. And we just wanted to go and see.
Oh man.
And just have the times match up to the bus schedule just to see.
Man, I heard this whole story of this thing that became huge in Spain because it was like this extraterrestrial meeting that was happening, and then these extraterrestrial things actually started happening, and then across like 60 years, like the most main skeptic of the group was like, oh yeah, I give into it, and like across like 60 years it became this gigantic thing, and then finally, like towards the end of his life, he apologized and said yes, he pulled the prank on everybody in there for all that time. Yeah. And it became like a whole movement in Spain. I should look that up one of these times. Bad Bunny,
He's one of his eyes. Here's another magazine cover where he's covering up one of his eyes. Here is this. Yet another magazine cover where he's covering up one of his eyes. Look at how beautiful his nails are. Wow. Here's a recent picture of him with a funny hat on. Here is a close-up of his album artwork that featured the all-seeing eye. And here is another album cover where we see the all-seeing eye. I was going to make a video.
What's that?
Eyeballs are cool looking.
Yeah.
And they symbolically strike a note to humans. So when you get a really well artistically rendered version of an eyeball close up and maybe like a reflection in the iris or something like that, that resonates with people. They're gonna have, and it's, why does it have to be the all-seeing eye? There's a third eye thing that retarded white housewives in their 40s who leave Mormonism believe in because they're suddenly Buddhist. Like that's it. That's the third eye.
Well, I guess like in some of that art, like the Epstein art and all that stuff, you're gonna see one-eyed things or art with kids with one black eye, and kids, they'll point to that as part of their spirit cooking sexual ritual abuse stuff. And you can even see some imagery of some of those people. There'll be images of them having a black eye. They'll do black eye photo shoots or something like that. This is all super true sexualistic abuse, because I'm totally going to buy into all moral panics from now on because they're all true. Just showing this.
Nobody is talking about it.
Sea Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Perú, Ecuador, Brasil, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Panamá, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, México, Cuba, República Dominicana, Jamaica, Haití, las Antillas.
That's right. In case you missed it, he just named every single country in North, Central, and South America that will jail and or deport you immediately if you are found to be there illegally.
Man. He named Venezuela, didn't he? He said Venezuela, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's my favorite country south of the equator.
Venezuela. Oh, South. Yeah, the ALC thing. I guess I got that on here. Hold on. I'll get to that.
It's funny because it's like the least retarded thing that she said the whole time.
Yeah. AOC condemns Spain for stealing Mexico's language. She's talking about AOC mocked Rubio's. My favorite part is he said cowboys are rooted in Spain. He should speak to Mexicans and African slaves. Like, what is she talking? Like, African slaves are the real cowboys? Like, what is she talking about? But it's like they
talking about black cowboys. Like,
vaqueros do come from Spain. Like,
okay, well, you don't think about black cowboys existing, right? Because anytime you think of a cowboy, you think of like the John Wayne type. But you also don't really think of Spanish cowboys. You don't think of caballeros when you're thinking of cowboys. You think of the Old West, right? So there were black cowboys, but it's like pretending they created it. No, obviously, like, I understand the Spanish created it or whatever. They came, the Americans really jumped onto the whole cowboy thing. Some of those Americans were black. But because some of those Americans were black doesn't mean that black people invented cowboy culture.
Yeah. The gauchos down south. I remember I had a whole book about gauchos.
Oh, dude, that was my mission.
That era.
Yeah, they have a whole different dialect. They love saying that the language thing is barbaridade. It's barbaridade. That's just barbarity. But
so I thought it was.
Yeah, and it's funny because Brazilians don't roll their R's, right? It's a double R, so it makes like a an H sound. So if any other Brazilian pronounced that word, they'd be like barbaridade, right? But in the deep South, the gauchos, they roll their R's instead. So like, "Oi, que barbaridade, che." And they actually, it's funny because I remember one of them explaining to me how they speak more proper Portuguese because in Portuguese, tu, it means you, just like in Spanish, but it's more like the, you know, it's more of a proper thing. And você is the word that most people use, but in the South they'll say tu a lot, and they'll be like,
the vos, like, is that like usted or vos is a...
No. Você is you, and then usted is vocês. It's like to use, right? And y'all, basically. But tu and você are conjugated differently, and so it's hilarious because this guy's explained to me, like, oh, we speak Portuguese more properly than them. And I was like, well, yeah, but you guys, you conjugate it wrong. Like, because it's você está and tu estás, right? But they say tu está, right? They never conjugate tu
correctamente.
Switch
it. There's a vos down in that era, like Uruguay, Argentina, like a vos instead of tu and instead of usted, like vos sois, and it's conjugated a little bit differently. It's a South America thing, but it's almost like a whole third thing.
In Portuguese Spanish, they still use the vos, and the tu and the tu version, and well, see, that's a whole racist thing that Portuguese people say, is that they say about Brazilians, they say you don't speak Portuguese, you speak Portuguese.
That's different in Spanish. Isn't black negro in Spanish?
No. Well, negro is negro.
No, in Spanish though. Yeah, preto is black.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if Chris knew that because I thought in Spanish it was negro.
I thought it was the word in Spanish that sounds like preto, which is like a tight ass. So it's like saying you're snooty.
Oh,
no, preto is black in Portuguese. So it's preto. Oh, that's fucking funny.
Yeah, no, that's.
Man.
You know, we look at what happened in Venezuela.
Could have mogged us on that, but I mogged the Portuguese elders because anytime they came over, they were at the MTC like 2 weeks before us. So they're like, "Hey, you guys need any help?" And I just turned to them and was like, "Nós não falamos português."
That's like, because in Brazil, like, you know, in America, you know, we told like for Mexican jokes or Polak jokes. In Brazil, it's Portuguese jokes. Like whenever you tell a joke about how stupid somebody is, they're always Portuguese. Like, for them, which actually
in Spanish, it's Gallegos, which are part of. It's kind of like the west end right above Portugal. The Gallegos are the idiots. Let's listen to
Venezuela, for example.
Our future president.
It is not a.
Venezuela.
It is.
I've never heard her say full sentences in Spanish. I don't know if she can like really speak Spanish or not.
Not a remark on who Maduro was as a leader. He canceled elections.
Maduro. Just so you know, I heard reported today that they said that she had a 3-month tutor session to prepare for this questioning.
Anti-democratic leader.
That doesn't mean that money back. Holy shit!
Oh, here's the thing: is like the tutor was Bad Bunny, and she couldn't understand anything he said. Los caballeros están mexicanos.
Venezuela, norte del Ecuador. What? Venezuela está norte del Ecuador.
What?
Venezuela está norte del Ecuador.
What?
Hey.
I'm from
I think
South
you said Venezuela is south of Ecuador. I'm going to write that down in my notes.
We can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because the nation is below the equator. And
applause.
That just means brown. Like, just
Applause. I like that.
brown equals south of the equator.
It's that global south stuff that they always try to say. Like,
Get that applause. See, that's when we were just talking about that. Like, I was thinking, like, well, did she mean global south? Because that's not explicitly geographic, you know.
Well,
But no, she actually says below the equator there, and then everybody cheers. That's amazing.
I remember somebody, maybe it was Ben Shapiro today, was talking about how awesome it was. Like, Marco Rubio kicked ass because he got a standing ovation. And I was like, well, yeah, but like, so did this retard.
Yeah.
She said below the equator in reference to Venezuela, and they just clapped their dumb asses off.
well, Marco Rubio said that we need to reassert our European Western values, and everybody took that as dog whistling white supremacy.
Yeah, Marco Rubio, the white supremacist. Okay, buddy.
You can have internalized white supremacy. This all happened. Billie Eilish got a dude deported because Australian dork claims Billie Eilish got him deported after he said he would move into her house after stolen land comment. Billie Eilish got me deported. I think her legal team contacted DHS. I spent 30 hours at immigration trying to explain. Yeah, and that all really happened. And
Did you hear about Irish guy?
No.
Because, like, you know, in the last couple of weeks,
they deported the Irish dude,
well,
and then
like,
it turns out
they're like, yeah. Well, the whole thing is like Irish guy, like he's been here 17 years and he's built a life and he's married an American, and then they tortured him in an ICE concentration camp for 5 months, and it turns out like he didn't have to spend 5 months there. He could have just gone home, but he has active warrants for drug trafficking in Ireland because he skipped his court date. And he never mentioned that to his immigration lawyer. And like, that's just the whole thing. Like this whole thing about like, oh, he's just an immigrant. And he came here to build like, no, he's dodging the law in Ireland and he's a drug trafficker. And like, just, yeah, you know, and he's like, oh, they tortured me. Like, so you
tortured.
Like the point is you preferred 5 months in American concentration camp than going home and facing Irish justice. Because like I have to believe that if you have to go to prison anywhere in Europe, Ireland is probably one of the nicer places to be in prison. Probably not as nice as Norway, but it's,
yeah,
you know.
Oh, it's the torture. Really, when you say torture, the only people who believe you are people who would have voted with you anyway. So you're not winning anyone with that absurd hyperbole. You guys will call this torture. We'll call it like being like
it's disappeared.
I know.
Disappeared.
Worst case with ICE, it's a case of mistaken identity. They take you there, they process you. They're like, oh, this guy's legal. Let him go. And it sucks. Like I'd be annoyed and I'd be like, fuck ICE after that. I'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah,
you ruined my afternoon or whatever. I'd be annoyed, but that's as bad as it is. But then you go to like South Africa and you get what these people are doing to the Boers. Kill the Boers. And like they drilled an 80-year-old woman to death, like with a drill. You know how many farmers in South Africa have had to watch their children die before they are tortured to death? More than a few. It's
so ridiculous. So you got to the thing that he had been a criminal in Ireland and left a family back there and ditched him and all that stuff.
Yeah, like he's a total piece of shit. But you know, he might as well be Maryland father. Like,
Maryland father.
Good-natured Irishman.
Well, I saw a new one and it's not really exploding that much where there is two brothers that like went to a Walmart and they were followed by ICE. And it's funny because in the news report, they're like, the two brothers were alerted that ICE was in the area. Like, okay, so these brothers are on ICE watch or whatever. And I think they were Mexicans. They go there, ICE gets them, and they're like explaining what ICE did. They told me that we own you now, bitch. You know, like he actually said, we own you now. Like that's what they said to him. And I'm like, I just don't believe you. All right.
Yeah. That stuff's getting goofy. I mean, did you see the stuff they made the announcement that they found 3,300 of the missing migrant children from
in Minnesota? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Which
That's
is still
crazy.
only 0.1% of the missing children.
Yeah, and then what's her name? Hillary Clinton at that same, I don't know what that summit was in Germany or something like that, but that's where AOC was too. But she was there saying that they let migration go too fast and too furious, and it was a problem.
Well, it's because these people don't believe anything. They just know that midterms are coming up, and they're like, okay, we really fucked over 2024 with two issues, mainly immigration and trannies. Like, we really fucked up there. So we got to pretend that we're decently moderate on immigration, and then we have to pretend that Trump is uniquely evil on immigration. Still, we want to eat our cake, but we also want to have our cake sitting here so we can look at it.
Did you see? Was it on your list of things? Did James Lindsay share it? Somebody on X shared it. Maybe it was Peter Boghossian, but it was the results.
Camera person?
There was that. They interviewed a bunch of students at Northwestern University, and
the camera student flipped out.
No, but it was a thing where they asked. I mean, like they did these confidential interviews. It wasn't like just a questionnaire, tick the box survey, but they actually interviewed students at Northwestern, and like 78% of them said.
I do have that.
Do you have that?
That they just
it is a white pill. Like in all the bad news right now, that's a major white pill. That basically 78% of students at Northwestern said like, we fake being liberals to get through school. Like we answer questions that we know are wrong. There it is. Yeah.
I got the link to that.
Yeah. There. 88% of college students fake progressive views, and they hold.
88% of them.
Yeah. Like an overwhelming majority said like they accept.
How many ex-Mormon influencers?
Woo! We talking at you, Blairy.
Yeah, just how to play the game. Got to play the game safe. Got to be safe. Do you see this? AOC was able to just. Glenn Greenwald called her out that she was just able to call up the New York Times and get like an apologetic piece for all her flubbing.
And called her favorite New York Times reporter, just handpicked the one she wanted. He was on this trip in Germany covering her in a very, very, very positive way. She's obviously very comfortable with him. She called him up and she's like, hey, I'd like to tell you some things that I want you to publish in the New York Times about my trip. I want to respond to these criticisms. So get a pen and you're going to write down what I say, and then you're going to publish it in the New York Times. It wasn't like they were chasing her for an interview, that they scored some exclusive. She picked them. She picked up the phone and called him and said, hey, I have some things to say. You're going to put it in the New York Times. She's like, okay, tell me. I got my pen. I'm ready to write down like everything. Okay.
Yeah. Do you think that like modern celebrity or not celebrity, like public figures, I think modern current public figures are just never, ever again going to be worried about any backlash to the shit that they do? Because the news cycle moves so quickly. Probably. We're always onto something because like
nothing sticks very long.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of the Glenn Greenwald shit that he had. Or like at this point in time, he mostly appeals to conservatives. And he had that whole shit with being a degraded sissy in his house with.
Oh yeah, nobody remembers.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that in months.
That's true.
And I'm like, oh, you just like I feel like things that would have made you sweat 15 years ago. You're like, well, it'll blow over. Like, no, you hit a 15-year-old girl in your car because you were drunk while she was at her quinceañera, and it'll someone will do something dumber like tomorrow, and I'm gonna be fine. Don't worry.
What we identify is that in a rules-based order, hypocrisy is vulnerability. And so I think what we are seeking is a return to a rules-based order that eliminates the hypocrisies around when too often in the West, we'd look the other way for inconvenient populations.
Holy fuck.
To act out these paradoxes. I think
it's amazing. Like,
did she say anything?
She is dumb, even by bartender standards. She is a dumb person. I have met some really articulate, intelligent, informed, well-read bartenders, and
Do you want to try to listen to it again?
Yeah, let's try. I wanna. I'm determined to. I can speak somewhat fluent retard. I'm half retarded. So
I think what we identify is that in a rules-based order, hypocrisy is vulnerability.
Wait,
And
just
so
stop
I
right
think
there.
what we are seeking
Well,
is
okay,
a
hang on,
return
hang on.
to a rules-based
We identify that in a rules-based order, hypocrisy is vulnerability.
vulnerability is good, though, right?
But wait, we identify. I'm trying to break this down.
Typically for them, it is, yeah.
Yeah, no. When you're a lefty, vulnerability is
You're right.
praiseworthy.
We
But
identify.
hypocrisy is vulnerability. And what does she mean a rules based order? What's she trying to say there?
The liberal order.
We identify in a
everybody's
rules-based
subject
order.
to the law.
Okay,
order.
but is this America bad or America good right now?
Rules-based order is supposed to be the good thing. That's the thing
That's
they
good.
talk
That's
about.
good.
That's our
Okay.
democracy is rules-based.
Okay,
order.
so we translated that part.
Chopra type. This is like Deepak Chopra, but for politics.
No.
Hey, Deepak Chopra was in the Epstein files. Don't you dare bring up his name.
Deepak Chopra he's way better at this than she is. I'm just glad we got the first part of the way. Okay, rules-based order. When in good thing, we identify that bad thing is good thing though. That's rules-based order good, hypocrisy bad, vulnerability good.
But like, because
I think she's saying vulnerability bad right here. I think she's making a mistake.
Because
we know vulnerability is supposed to be good for the authenticity world, but I think she's talking about this makes you vulnerable to being attacked.
Oh, okay. She's just mixing up her shibboleths then.
She's mixing up her shibboleths.
order that eliminates the hypocrisies around when too often in the West we'd look the other way for inconvenient populations.
We look the other way for inconvenient population.
Hypocrisies. First off, she pluralizes hypocrisy.
We could spend the whole 3 hours trying to
that eliminates the hypocrisy.
I needed Dan McClellan.
we need a linguist. Holy fuck.
Dan McClellan, where are you?
Around
Like,
when
hey, Dan
too
McClellan,
often
if you translate
in the West, we'd look the
if you translate this into biblical Hebrew, do we get religion? She's doing your preta conjugations.
Portuguese.
the hypocrisies around when too often in
The hypocrisies around when too often.
the West, we'd look the other
In
way
the West, we look
for
the other way.
inconvenient populations.
This
For
is nonsense. This
like
is
the word
literal
for. What is the word
nonsense.
for doing there?
It gets worse the more you listen to it.
It really is nonsensical.
She uses like the appositive, a positive, right? The commas around a statement that is inserted into the middle of a sentence when all too often, and it doesn't make sense. Like structurally speaking, that just does not make sense to put in a positive right there.
But what is she saying? We look away for inconvenient populations.
I don't know. Okay, so I got to figure out if we're on good or bad yet, right?
This
So-
is absolutely nonsense. I am trying to draw out a meaningful idea from this, and I can't.
I know I'm trying hard here. So we gotta go good bad, right?
Our base close says we listen and we don't judge.
That he got it.
So we got rules-based order, good. Hypocrisy, bad. Vulnerability, usually good, but we've determined in this
You're
case
like
probably
doing
bad.
card counting. You're gonna
Right.
get like
So
the next card's a king. Hit.
In good thing, we've determined that bad thing has weakness, right? So fuck, I don't even know what comes next.
Paradox. So somebody that can do video editing. I want to do the skit where I walk up to a bar and I say, "Yeah, I'd like an old fashioned," and then she says this, and I go, I'll just have a whiskey neat.
I don't want you getting anywhere near the mixing cups. You can hurt yourself.
You can't handle Manhattan. There are 3 ingredients in Manhattan.
To act out these paradoxes.
To act out these paradoxes. I think that's a Chopraism. Like if you say something like that at the end of a word salad, you can like
that
feel like
is
you
an
got
A,
out of it.
That is an A answer in a modern English.
Like
yeah, you're right. It is. I'm trying in my head to conceive of the context before and after this, like that would justify this.
There's so many ways we could do this. Would get like the other skit version is that it's a college.
I think I have a longer clip if you want.
It's a college.
I'm like, if I listen to the previous 20 minutes, would I be like, oh yeah, no, we do in a rules-based order.
It's a modern
recognize identify the hypocrisy, vulnerability.
We clip this into a modern American English class on literature criticism, and the teacher asks, well, give me a criticism of Snow White, and then we just do this.
We do, yeah.
And then the
garner
goes,
a golf.
That's right. You got it. You get an A. You successfully explained Snow White using postmodern ideas.
I got a 2-minute clip of it. Do you want to bother with it?
Let's see. Maybe it makes more sense.
This is a moment where we are seeing our presidential administration tear apart the transatlantic partnership, rip up every democratic norm, and really calling into question, as was mentioned by Dave Carney at the World Economic Forum, rules-based order that we have, or question mark, do we have? And so
holy fuck, it's worse.
Myself, but many of our colleagues here, in fact, many Democrats that are here as well, is because we want to tell a larger story that what is happening is indeed very grave.
There's a dude right behind her deep leg crossing.
Domestically and globally. There have been many leaders who said,
yeah, he's got that. Look at that one. That's a pretty good one.
And in a new time. But that does not mean that the majority of Americans are ready to walk away from a rules-based order and that we're ready to walk away from our commitment to democracy. I think what we identify is that in a rules-based order, hypocrisy is vulnerability. And so I think what we are seeking is a return to a rules-based order that eliminates the hypocrisies around when too often in the West we look the other way for inconvenient populations to act out these paradoxes, whether it is...
This is the only thing she's...
Full context made it worse.
Yeah, no, I made it worse. This is the only thing she said coherently the entire summit. And well, not coherently, I mean fluidly. This is the only thing she said fluidly the entire summit. And
yeah, because all the other clips are her going Steve, I think Steve understood.
Yeah, I think
it probably just means we are racist. Yeah, you speak academia now.
Holy shit! I am usually pretty good at translating what somebody meant to say when they're retarded and don't know how to say things. Like I'm actually pretty good at that usually. Be like, no, okay, this is what she meant. I get that she sounded really stupid, but this is what she meant.
Troy says she's got my vote.
I can't do it.
Troy says she's got my vote.
My vote, yeah.
The new American hat. Together we are America. Together we are America. Gulf of America. So you admit the Gulf of America makes sense.
No.
How about this? Will this get your vote?
It's true. As your next mayor, I will freeze your rent.
Paid for by Zoran for NYC.
In order to get to this point of closing the gap on both this fiscal year and the next fiscal year, we are forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits trust reserve, and to increase property taxes across these.
Nobody learns anything.
It didn't even take. How long has it been? 2 months? 3 months?
You even got that retard Kathy Hochul being like, no, that's stupid. We can't do that. We can't lose that many millionaires and billionaires.
Yeah.
She numbered the amount of billionaires and millionaires who have left New York in the last few years. We just can't. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
All right. I'm going to bail soon, so we got to get the good stuff so I get sucked in for only another 5 minutes.
What good stuff? I mean, I got more. I mean, this is just more. Oh, you wanted Colbert?
He's gonna.
I didn't even like look up the Colbert stuff, but I mean, I know what happened with the Colbert stuff.
What's this?
How about the what?
What's this guy?
I'll play this one. You know this one already, though. We talked
That
about this
said, keep the immigrants, deport the racists. I was like, if you want to deport racists, you're going to be deporting a lot of immigrants. Yeah, that's going to be the first to
What do
go.
you think the racists are,
Bro,
man?
I'm like, every Mexicano family has some
Oh my
racist
God.
deals in it, or tias, or your parents are
Yeah, for
fucking
sure.
racist, or you're a little racist. I think we're all like, right? So they dropped this shirt, which is literally my called "Deport All Racists." I saw a white woman.
Yeah. We already know that one. This is the other big thing that was going around.
Everything here is a little bit too Chinese. All the restaurants and cafes.
As a British comedian points out the hypocrisy, he went to. It shows him in China.
For a start, way too many noodles. I don't eat noodles. You know, we're gonna need pie and mash, mac and chips. I mean, you need to cater to me, yeah. Huh? I don't think you understand. I'm not from here, okay? I left the UK because I didn't like it, all right? So I need you to change everything to make it feel like it's the UK. Yeah? No, right, okay. Well, also, I can't really work at the minute. Anxiety. Yeah. When do I get my money? Obviously, got a few kids at home and all, so they're going to need to come here. That's a no-brainer. Why do you keep saying no? I've noticed as well, there's a lot of Chinese people here as well, isn't it? So I was thinking we could get loads of me over here. And we have our own little area, and then you lot can just fuck off. Does that sound good? It doesn't. Well, no, hear me out, because I was thinking if we get loads of me over here, then we can vote in, you know, one of me to be in charge, and then we can all start telling you lot how to live. And after that, I was going to organise some marches where we go through the streets chanting anti-Chinese sentiments. So, obviously, you'll need to protect us while we do that. Yes, no, as well, is it? Oh. And finally, I am here illegally. Yeah, didn't respect the rules on that one. So do I just choose any hotel, or have you got certain prison?
Yeah, that's about how that is.
Yeah. Hey, Flip, did you see the thing where I guess RFM was talking about PG Wodehouse, and he was complaining nobody heard about it over there. Yeah, he said PD. Yeah,
he kept saying Wodehouse. I'm like, no, that's Woodhouse.
There it is.
Guys go is called, it's the Drones Club, because they're a bunch of freaking drones. And so that's why I said the church is becoming its own version of the Drones Club. And the reason I bring this back up,
what is that fedora blaria? Did he hear my blaria voice to just lean into the persona? I'm motherfucking blaria.
Dressed in pink with the white hair.
It's PD Wodehouse.
PG.
Yeah, PG Wood. Pelham Grenville Woodhouse.
But still, RFM's over there complaining that none of those guys know anything about PG Wodehouse.
PD Wodehouse.
PD Wodehouse. Yeah. And he brought it up to Nemo. Nemo doesn't know who Pete. Maybe it's because he said it. He's like, who's PD Wodehouse? But yeah, nobody over there knows any of that stuff. And Blair Real had never heard of it. But
I'm motherfucking Blair Real. You gotta pay my bitches, and that bitch better have my money.
Blair Real the pimp. Blair Real the pimp.
That fedora is so calculatedly askew. Like he really thought about that wardrobe.
He fedora mogged him.
Pimp maxing. Fuck yeah, Blair Real.
All right, what could get Flip logged in for a little bit? I've got. I mean, I actually didn't have a ton of stuff, but the David Archuleta cast was kind of like meh. They of course blamed a bunch of suicide on the Mormon Church, and then DeLynn put out this thing saying that an update to. Well, you want to read it to her? Use your
an update to the David Archuleta interview. I rewatched the interview and felt embarrassed by the degree
super
embarrassed by the degree to which I interrupted David. interjected my own research into the interview, didn't use empathy, and or editorialized. I made significant changes on the YouTube version that should be finalized within the hour. I'm super sorry, and I hate the fact that I'm straight white male. Several of you said you enjoyed the interview, but more people than normal complained about it. I'm so super sorry that I over-injected myself here. I will try to do better. I hope that the edits improve some things. Brooklyn is working now to edit the Spotify version. Thanks, as always, for the constructive feedback. I do listen, believe it or not. No, you block! You fuck.
Hey, John DeLynn, I challenge you to have Jonathan Streeter on and interject as much as you fucking want.
Well, I've got all the clips of that stuff coming up, which I won't make you hang around because that one probably we'll get into that for a while.
Oh boy, yeah.
But I've got plenty of stuff on. Gotta listen to all voices, but not those Detrans voices. That's too political. I listened to the episode and I didn't think he over interrupted. It didn't even like cross my mind that he was. He did get to like a moment where David Archuleta said, "Yeah, I saw what's his name's movie from the Imagine Dragons. It was a really good movie." And John DeLynn goes, "Oh yeah, we did that movie. I was in that." And he's like, "You were in it?" "Oh yeah, I was in it. Oh.
Dude, okay. So I don't know how you do this because I watch more stupid content, more dumb brain rot bullshit. I hate watch it more than anybody I know in the entire world. Except you.
Yeah.
Like you're the only person that I'm
and that's on top
you'll
of
be like
Candace Owens.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh, did you hear the Candace Owens words of the week?
What did she her mispronounce? Yeah. I didn't.
Anecdote and grandoise. Anecdote and grandoise. What were you saying?
It's just if something is like, because it's like my favorite part of the week coming here and talking about stupid shit. But if something is so stupid that I won't listen to it, and I assume that means nobody in the world will listen to it. No, you will listen to it. You have listened to so much Candace Owens. I thought I was brave for getting through 3 episodes of her Macron bullshit. But you've been following her since. I don't know how you do it. You listen to that retarded John DeLynn thing. No, it's actually too retarded. I can't. I don't know.
They had an episode. It was run by Colby this week. That what did we love about the Mormons? And I was gonna comment on the thing and just say, pretty good job, you guys. Although I realized that I'm shadow banned from the YouTube thing, so I can't even comment. Pretty good job. But I like them going over the stuff. Of course, Nemo. I like the part where Kobe and John both advocate for liking the teachings of agency of Mormonism because they think it's a good thing, no matter what you say, this or that
and
about
then,
free will.
yeah.
It's good to believe that you have it and that you have agency. And
Then
I like
Nemo-
that take by them. But Nemo, the guy who just 2 months ago said he never read any philosophy, has now looked into that, and turns out there's no free will, guys.
You're actually stupid if you believe in free will. Now, John actually said a cool thing in that. I'll give him credit for this. It made me think of Flip's "do yourself a favor and call it faith" thing, because he did say, like, I believe in free will at this point as sort of a faith claim. Like, I have to. And I was like, oh, that was kind of nice that you said that. Like, I enjoy that.
I mean, just like the whole idea of like, oh, John DeLynn is interviewing David Archuleta. I'm like, well, that could be interesting for maybe 4 minutes. It's like how, like,
I don't think it could.
I mean, this is a joke I made before about, and I don't even remember who it's for, but like headline: Twinkie fag is gay. Okay, got it. Like,
well, they did do some crap in that, like them saying, like, it doesn't say anywhere in Mormonism that it's actually bad. I don't know where they were getting this from. It's just Dallin H. Oaks and him grinding his gears, but it never actually says it anywhere.
Well, and if you wanted to find the 4 interesting minutes, you couldn't start at the beginning, because that I plan on watching some of it. I didn't bother watching the part 1. because I know part 1 is going to be like him asking the most mundane, retarded questions about like, oh yeah, I was born into a Mormon family in Utah, and I went to seminary. Did you know that? I was in Scouts. Oh, okay. Oh, you were in Scouts. Tell me more about that. Well, we had Scout camp.
Is that where they made you gay?
Did your den leader butt fuck you into gayness?
Did you get gay in Scouts? Did you get the gay
They
marriage?
did go into the thing like saying, "Isn't it a bad trope? Isn't it a bad trope to say that somebody got molested?" And like, no. In fact, I knew some kids that got molested by my dad, and they didn't turn out gay.
Wait, did he say that?
Yes.
Wait, David Archuleta's dad molested kids?
Yes, that's what he said.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
He
that
said
is
it-
interesting.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, and I kind of go, I don't think that really kind of.
Is that something you can just say?
He said it, but I think his dad got like arrested. He got arrested right near where I grew up. Like I could walk to it. He got arrested for getting hand jobs right by the "You've Got a Friend in the Diamond" business on 72nd on stage.
So, okay, since you watched it, here's a question about something interesting. Did David Archuleta feel societal pressure to go on a mission?
Yes, but I think he's also.
Oh my god, he did.
He's also one of the guys who wanted to. It seemed like
He felt like his culture wanted him to go on a mission.
it would help to make
That-
his feelings that you didn't understand go away. One of the
That
things
is-
that drives me
that's
nuts about
interesting.
Archuleta is he uses the term queer, and he's just gay. And that's to me not queer, but of course
That's
they
what
brought up
trendy
that
gays do now.
Yeah.
Like trendy gays and white women who say I'm bisexual, but I'm never gonna have sex with a woman because I'm married. to a
One area that could be interesting, but they didn't get too much into it because they had to sell his book on the 501c3 podcast that is just there for nonprofit to help people get through stuff, and then make sure to sell David Archuleta's book. We show David Archuleta's book 15 times and say, read by his book if you want to find out more about this. But they said that Elder Ballard, he had a close relationship with Elder Ballard, and they would always talk about stuff, and he's told Elder Ballard before everybody else that he was gay, and Elder Ballard would be like, "Well, don't worry about it, just keep going," type stuff. And it was kind of like,
that's what I would have guessed he would say. To a
well,
celebrity.
my if I were those guys and they knew they were going to drop him like a hot rock the second he came out, I would have started backing away before he came out. Like, let's not bring you to the.
Sure, that's what you would have done, but you got to think what a Mormon apostle would do. And the Mormon apostle being like, "Oh, you know what? It's fine. We love everyone, and just keep going on." Of course, that's what the low risk Mormon apostle's gonna do. Of course, he's gonna be like, "We want more Mormon celebrities." This is a PR thing.
Steve asked who mogged who, David or John. That was one of the things that happens in like leftist things. The reason they are trying to cross their legs harder than the other person is they're trying to demonstrate that they're the beta of the group. So it's like mogging. Like I need to show that I'm the most feminine of the group here.
John Dehlin bogged the shit out of Archuleta.
John Dehlin is 6'5" and has success head. And so like constantly having to compensate.
He can't cross the legs far enough. He'd have to cross them so far he'd cross over the event horizon.
He's actually
and never be able to get him
on
back.
the floor.
It'd be like
he's not even in
crossing
the
the
chair.
streams in Ghostbuster. He'd cross them so hard.
Fucking
He's just stuck like that forever. Like, I'll cross my legs. So hard.
Left wing beta mogging. I bogged the fuck out of you.
I bogged. You see how far I crossed my legs?
I crossed my legs so hard, my ankle was near my face, bitch.
I feel like Meat Cannon is missing out on this concept, man. He could make like a good.
Yeah, I'm picturing a Meat Canyon thing where they're having a deep leg cross competition, and one of them like scatters their knee to crack their. And it goes up by their face, like, all the way around clockwise, and it just falls off.
But in what we like about Mormonism episode, of course, by the end of it, they asked them all, do we want to abolish Mormonism or make it better? And they all said we want to make it better. And of course, better is Dan McClellan 2026 neoliberalism, which is the truth. It is also Maven. Like it's peak Maven. It's like the arc of history arrives to Mavenhood or arrives to Dan McClellanhood. And that's where peak morality is. Make it better up to there.
All righty. I'm gonna bail. I'm gonna consider that a segue.
No, this I'm making you stick one more.
One more.
It's a short one. It could be a short one. You gotta watch one more beta male, and it will help you go to sleep. Because
he said one more and then he left, so I don't know.
oh, he disappeared. Oh, I think he just fell off.
I don't think he meant to. I'm just joking.
You're trying to run away. You can't leave. You can't ever leave.
Chris,
I don't know.
Yeah,
He's
having a tough
looks like it's
time.
crashing anyway.
Yeah, no, it's just crashing out. But I am. Wait.
You don't have to stay if it's crashing out.
Yeah, well, just
I was going to talk just about.
you're not gonna get any money from the
corporal slop.
AdSense this time.
I was just going to talk about corporal slop disruption.
All righty. Well, I'm gonna bail. See you
Okay,
guys
I
next
was going to
time.
help you sleep by showing you one more mega beta, which lowers testosterone.
I'll
and
watch
help
it
you
on.
to sleep, and then you'd have to take Tim Pool's Beam Dream to replenish your. If I have one more conservative schlubby dude try to sell me health food, I'm gonna punt the internet, man. All right.
All right.
Tim Pool has taught me a valuable lesson. It's the same lesson as the quartering. He's just less annoying. He's less obnoxious and retarded about it. Tim Pool has taught me one of the big reasons that we're not getting subscribers. I need to get a list because I got a lot of them. I feel like every week I point out one of the reasons why we don't have hundreds of thousands of followers rather than dozens, you know. But one of the big reasons is, when's the last time we held like a financial business meeting on stream?
Oh, does Tim Pool do that? Or
Yeah, no, he
or
does.
do that?
They both do it. And I'm like, that's actually a good idea. The people really want to hear the behind the scenes financial bullshit.
I've seen
for
John
45
Lynn do that.
minutes. Yeah, I know. John Dillon does it too. He's very successful. That's our problem is we're not talking about how the business is going to. Everybody, the stream. I want to keep it going. I do. But
oh yeah, you have to scare him off like we're being attacked. We're being attacked.
There's a Tim Pool thing I noticed recently is God, he enunciates his T's at the end of the word.
Oh yeah.
But
especially when he talks about eating something that he likes. It was a delicious sandwich. Or
yeah, you're right.
Then he goes to like a commercial.
Very hasty.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to have business meetings, talk about how the finances are in the shitter, how our coffee brand is fucked. And
we don't need this. We could just retire in the future, and we got a business in the company.
Oh, dude, I've been watching,
and we can't deal with the attacks. We can't deal with the danger of it.
Well, I know you hate Ian, right? But I keep watching Kino Casino clips from like last year. And
I don't hate Ian. He's just like
Ian is their favorite person.
He's just so dumb. He's like I cannot believe he is a person who made it onto panels to listen.
Yeah,
to
no, that's why.
just
That's why
how like
him.
AOC dumb he is.
Yeah, that's why they love him. He's their favorite person on the whole thing because it's like Tim Pool is going full doom and gloom, talking about if this carries on, we cannot afford to keep doing this podcast. Our final show might be December 17th. And then Ian comes out there and he's like, "Hey guys, so how's it fucking blazing out there? What's going on?" And then
I think graphene could fix the world.
Yeah, he mogs the whole crew by just not giving a fuck about anything. And Tim tells him how everything's collapsing around them. And he's like, "Bro, you just really we got to fucking manifest." Because he thinks that he manifested. Oh, fuck. What was it? There was something Trump did that he claims he manifested because he's like, this should happen. And then the thing happened in the next couple of days. And Phil Labonte just fucking goes off on him. He calls him dumb. He's like,
I saw Andrew Wilson calling him dumb in ways that he didn't understand. He was when you start talking, I don't know.
Milo Yiannopoulos destroyed Ian. It was fucking funny as hell. Well, he destroyed Tim Pool too. I didn't watch this when it came out. I just watched the Kino Casino on it.
I watched that episode.
Yeah, just fucking Milo Yiannopoulos told him, "And that's quite a pleasant suit you have there. On anyone else, it might be considered fruity, I have to get the name of the designer.
Milo's catty wave.
Yeah, he's catty as fuck. Milo's insane, but he's funny as fuck because he's a catty bitch. And it's funny because they're on the Timcast IRL thing. And Milo's like, Ian just texted me back with the name of the designer. Like he's so dumb that he thought Milo wanted his retarded suit. It's hilarious. I love it.
Ian
buddy.
He is sincerely dumb. Risto had an idea. We should offer service to ex-Mormons where we teach them how to do coffee in a less Mormon way. Espresso for ex-Mos. That could make us some money. We'll use the coffee brand coffee. Maybe partner up with Jeremy from the Quartering.
Yeah, Espresso.
This guy's kvetching about the new.
I haven't watched this. I haven't watched anything that he said. I watched the first 8 seconds of this video and clicked out. But I think I love this apostle just based on the people. I don't know anything about him. I do know one thing about him. I know the people who are kvetching about him. So I love him.
Yeah, I'm going to dislike it for a different reason than this dude does, but I think he doesn't understand. Everybody's all freaking out about what's this disruption mean?
Disruption. Yeah. I know a couple things about him. What, like he fired some people from Deseret News.
Yeah. Well, I was going to attack because it came up in another place. Hold on.
How the appointment of Clark Gilbert to an apostle is the clearest sign that the LDS Church is embracing the stance of retrenchment. Gilbert received his business degree from Harvard Business School, where he learned the disruptive techniques of the modern business world. He taught at the school for a few years, but after not being retained and being given a long-term job, he joined the LDS Church administration. After being put in charge of the church's media arm, he got to try out his disruptive techniques by taking over the Deseret News and firing nearly half the staff. But more than slimming down their operations, he also streamlined their focus, telling them that they should focus on the foundations of the church, meaning conservative values that would set them apart from the rest of the world, which is actually a through line across much of his career in church leadership, denouncing the inroads of secularism in modern society and the need for the nation, including its universities, to return to their spiritual core. He first integrated this philosophy at Brigham Young University, Idaho, when he became president, but then across the BYU system-wide when he became the Commissioner of Education. And since taking over church education, Gilbert has been consistent and vehement in trying to reaffirm the university's mission, trying to reject modern progressivism and return to the fundamentals. BYU faculty, staff, and students have all been quite vocal, albeit anonymously given the surveillance, about the reign of terror that Gilbert has introduced, especially at BYU Provo, something documented in the Salt Lake Tribune last year. This includes introducing new pledges that the faculty have to sign concerning orthodoxy, as well as a new ecclesiastical clearance office to oversee all
shut up.
Yeah, it's funny. Okay, so I'm remembering where I didn't realize he was the president of BYU Idaho. That's actually where I'm remembering him from, because I had dropped out of college at the time, but Morgan was still in college when he came in, and it reminds me that before that it was Kim Clark. Kim, a dude, was the president of BYU Idaho, and I got banned from Facebook briefly for making a page called Kim Jung Clark because he was such a dork.
Did it get you in trouble there?
No, it didn't. But he was such a fucking dork. He was like, so no shorts on campus, right? But shorts allowed in the gym. BYU Idaho approved shorts, that is, which leaves you with the dilemma of, okay, can I walk across the 30 feet of campus in shorts to get to the gym? And he came up with a great solution. He sent all his students an email saying, well, what we should really do is wear some warm-up pants. Wear some warm-up pants over those gym shorts to get to the gym and then take them off. I was like, you are so gay. Like, I broke most of the rule. I broke the dumb rules at that college. I wasn't supposed to skateboard on campus, but that's actually how I got around. It's great because it's on a hill. I had my longboard, and so I would have to just walk when I'm going uphill. But then when I was going downhill, oh man, it was fucking awesome. I just stood there, and it was amazing longboarding down that hill. That place has some great spots for longboarding. There's a stake center that is like right on the side of the hill, so it has an entire parking lot that is on a slant, and that's a fucking dream for a longboarder. It's amazing. Morgan, when we were first married, got me a pair of longboarding gloves, and it's just gloves that have pucks on the palms and on the fingers, and so you can put your hand on the ground for trying to learn how to slide on a longboard. Oh man, I went to that parking lot and I ate shit so many times trying to learn how to slide on that longboard. Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah. I saw, well, Steve posted this from Mormon Stories. They're asking, what does it mean when Elder Gilbert understands disruption? I don't understand.
Disruption coming from all of the fucking, I understand this is Steve, but like the word disruption is coming from a bunch of entryists.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. And it's so utterly hypocritical they would use that word.
But I mean, really, ultimately, all it means is it's corporal speak. It's just, and even just to dunk on Gilbert, but that guy was freaking out about it. Like disruption means, oh my gosh, disruption means he's back here to take us back to the Stone Age, of retrenchment into the old ways. Although I do think Gilbert is like aware of culture war stuff and isn't going to play those games as well as other past. What would you call it? Yellowstone type presidents, Yellowstone meme type presidents. But anybody who does corporal speak, you'd be like, oh God, corporal speak. Watch out for
what
that.
Would happen in the Mormon church if what would happen if they said, yeah, our trans women, they can't use the women's bathroom. They've already said that, right? And the trans women were mad. But what if they were like, but they can still baptize people. Like they can still give priestly blessings and blessed sacrament. Is that gender affirming or not? Like, I feel like that's this catch-22. They're like, we think women should have the priesthood, but and you're giving me the priesthood, but you're not saying I'm a woman. And
the way corporal speak people use disruption is it became a cool word for some just new CEO to come in and say, I'm changing your shit up. You know what I mean? So, and really ultimately like how it got implemented was we're going to force you guys into using computers more and using AI and automating and that sort of stuff. And then one of the other main areas that they would use it is we're going to also force DEI upon you. And so disruption is kind of one of those corporal speak words of we're going to change up your organization like you didn't see it before. And it's going to be this futuristic neoliberal Star Trek. We're turning you into Star Trek, guys. We're going to disrupt you into Star Trek. And here it popped up just today in this.
Getting rid of white people. Check this out. This is from the DC Water Department's website. It says water equity for all. And then below that, it says that they have 82% BIPOC representation, and that's a lot of BIPOC representation by any measure. Certainly, it means that white people in Washington, D.C., which supposedly account for 40% of the population of the city, aren't getting jobs at the water department. Is that because they aren't applying, or is it because they're being discriminated against? Well, we'll have to look into that, and hopefully the DOJ will look into it as well. One of these 82% BIPOC employees is the D.C. Water Chair, a woman named Dr. Unique N. Morris Hughes. Yes, that's her name. Dr. Unique. Because if there's one thing you want from a doctor, it's that they are unique. Now, Dr. Unique makes more than $230,000 a year. And yeah, Dr. Unique, as you probably guessed, is actually not a doctor, nor is she an engineer or an expert in anything at all. Her PhD is from something called the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and it's in philosophy. By the way, in the U.S. News and World Report ranking of American universities, the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, where she got her PhD, is ranked number 395. So at least it can boast of being in the top 400. That's something. It also has a 90% acceptance rate. So she got a meaningless philosophy degree from a bottom-tier college because she wrote a meaningless paper that no one has ever read, solely so that she can call herself a doctor. This is otherwise known as the Jill Biden strategy. And clearly it's paid off for Dr. Unique. If you look through her resume, which lists her pronouns as she, her, in case you were curious, you'll find plenty of evidence that she's skilled at spending other people's money. She hands out grants to nonprofits. She once served as an acting assistant superintendent for wellness and nutrition at the local Department of Education. She was a teacher. But she doesn't seem to know anything about water, which is odd, since she's the water chair. You think that'd be a basic qualification, but it's not. So what does Dr. Unique talk about when she appears in public and does interviews? You'll never guess. Watch.
Now, and this is the chain breaking, institutional barrier disruption work that I'm doing. Now I'm on a mission to make sure Black and brown
Disruption, huh?
Yeah, imagine that. It popped up. It's corporal slop, nothing speak.
in the workplace. So then when they're competing in the market,
that's one less check.
That's one less check. And the playing field is leveled because now they got the internship, the same one for the parent who knew the president of the corporation. Now the playing.
Is this the leadership stuff that you didn't have to know about, like doing like the water work in a city? You just had to know how to disrupt, and you can be a good leader.
She's disrupting.
Field is leveled.
Disruption work. Because that's what you want, right? When you're looking for someone to, help run the water department, make sure water is safe. You want someone who is, what's the quality you're looking for? Disruptive. Right? Isn't that what you want? No, actually, that's the opposite of what you want. Disruption is what they're getting right now, actually, with the water. There's a lot of disruption going on with the pipes over there in DC. But it couldn't be any more obvious that the DC Water Department, like so many other dysfunctional government agencies, is nothing more than a hiring program for Black people.
Racist. Anyway, that's the disruption corporal speak, but everybody's afraid of it over in Mormon land. They don't realize that it's the same corporal speak that any DEI hire uses.
Oh no, they're
to try to justify the nothing that they're doing. What's that?
Oh no, they're disrupting us.
They're disrupting us. Their corporal speaking is back.
Disruptive. No, disruptive Cthulhu's supposed to only swim left. Fuck
Cthulhu,
off,
Cthulhu only disrupts left. Anyway, all the way back to detransition stuff. I have a song. I should play the song last week. Have you heard this song?
Wunderbar. Oh, the Jonathan song? Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see if it'll play right. I gotta probably just play it off the Facebook here.
Probably.
Let's see. Is that playing?
Yep.
Unending and compassion for those we do not understand. Listen to their story. But what about the stories of detransition? No, not those stories. Compassion has its limits. And you are a bigot. You are a bigot, yes. You are a bigot.
Fuck these people. We should be in charge of everything. You suck at everything. Okay, that's a great. I would love to have you in charge of everything. You fucking idiot. Oh Christ.
Man, this doesn't look. Jonathan wrote a long response to one of the persons challenging him. Oh, I guess I should pull this up. John DeLynn was kind enough to put up a poll to his audience, captured audience.
Oh yeah, Christ.
Because he puts that poll up for all of his other questions, right?
I'll be honest, I was shocked with the results. I seriously was. Okay, not as shocked, because we always talk about how this is a very vocal minority, which is hilarious because that's the exact thing they use against people like us in the whole gender debate, especially. I can't even remember what it was. I was just listening to someone talk. It was a tranny talking to the Supreme Court, which is not a sentence the founding fathers ever intended on hearing. But there was a tranny talking to the Supreme Court and explaining to them how the founding fathers loved trannies and stuff like that. And, what was he saying? Fuck, I totally lost it. I can't remember what I was even trying to get at.
The trannies?
Yeah, it was a...
Eddie Izzard came out as full trans and is now going by the name Susan. And I guess Susan was the name of his ex-girlfriend he's mad at. So he's doing
man, that's funny.
The same thing that some of those other people. I heard that the shooter this week also had taken up the name of his ex-wife or something like that. I don't know if that's true or not.
That guy's confusing. That's one of the most confusing individuals ever, because he was a tranny and he had an SS tattoo.
Yeah. And supposedly liked Trump, but then he was complaining to Andy No, which is why my name is Andy Non-Government Organization. Andy No, NGO, who he's told Andy No on one of his posts that if you keep talking about trans people this way, you're going to cause violence.
Self-fulfill that prophecy, bud.
Yeah, and it's so funny because like the media just across the board just decided to use the male pronouns.
Because he was a Nazi.
Yeah, so it's male pronouns now. Yeah.
Trans women are women, period, comma, unless they are Nazis.
Yeah, I mean, here's somebody put like this long post about here. The man on the left with the SS tattoo received both top and bottom surgery and was on both steroids and estrogen at the same time, rather than affirm his womanhood. It's comparing our old DHS director versus our shooter.
Holy shit, she is hot. I thought you could always tell. I really did. And I thought I'd never bang a tranny, but here I am. Can't see it because it's under the desk, but I got a raging chub right now.
Rather than affirm his womanhood, his wife divorced him after he began claiming to be a woman. He murdered his wife and children and then turned the gun he used to murder his family on himself in a Rhode Island ice skating rink. The media refused to refer to his transgender identity or use his preferred pronoun in covering his mass murder-suicide. The man on the left is not a woman. He is a man. The man on the right also married and had children before abruptly declaring himself to be a woman. In middle age, his wife, a fellow professor of medicine at Penn State University, also divorced him, but has not made any statements about whether she believes herself to be exiting a lesbian marriage from the stunning and brave woman that her husband revealed himself to be after fathering children with her, or whether she maintains some skepticism of the claim made by the father of her children to be female. He is also not a woman. He is a man.
Man, how come the lesbians are doing so many crime?
Yeah.
This lesbian asshole right here killed her whole family. We need to hold lesbians accountable because this is bullshit. This normal lesbians just want to take their cock and put them into their lesbian wives. That's all they want to do. They want to impregnate their lesbian wives with their lesbian sperm and have a biological lesbian baby. And this asshole lesbian had to lend credibility to the stereotype that lesbians are more violent. Holy shit.
The man on the right was Assistant Secretary of Health and Human Services under President Joseph R. Biden, from which position he led the whole government effort of the Biden administration undertook to forbid any schoolgirl from drawing a boundary between herself and any boy who claimed to be a girl in every school in America, and to pressure the medical lobby organization that purports to promulgate standards of care for transgender medicine to strip out all age guidelines on who could be chemically castrated, dosed with steroids, or have healthy body parts surgically removed, permitting these procedures to be done on any person of any age. Did you see the reporting just today that a bunch of hospitals pulled out of doing any surgery on underage children? And
no.
I was told reliably that it wasn't happening, but they all just announced that they will stop it from this point going forward.
Yeah, come back to me when they start prosecuting the doctors who butchered them.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Oh, I want it so bad. I am not a call to prosecution type person, but those guys should be in prison.
He is universally referred to as a woman, as a female role model, and as preferred pronouns. She and her are honored wherever he goes and whenever he is mentioned in the press. My question about these two men who claim to be a woman is, why were the preferred pronouns of the man on the left callously disregarded by the mainstream media while the preferred pronouns of the man on the right were honored? Both men satisfy the role criterion that the trans activist movement and the President Joseph R. Biden worked tirelessly to establish as decisive in determining what makes someone a woman. Both of them said they are women. So why is the recognition as they claim it to be, and thus are, according to transgender dogma, withheld from the man who mass murdered his family and not from the man who deployed state power to propagate the chemical castration and dismemberment of thousands of confused children caught up in the social contagion of the Biden administration, working tirelessly to propagate as widely as possible? Is it because one of these men who claims to be a woman is really a woman and the other one is not? Real question.
It's called being a decent human being, okay? Like give sure, I understand this gorgeous knockout blonde bombshell babe killed her family. Her, did you hear what I said right there? I said her. But give her the dignity. Like, she's still a human being, all right? Don't misgender her. Did you misgender O.J. Simpson? No, I don't think so. God, fuck these retards.
Yeah, and then just yesterday, over in British Columbia, Canada, issued a decision February 18, 2026, $750,000 for not affirming somebody's trans identity. That's what's going on over there. But all the way back here to
about gay
Mormon Stories podcast, Jonathan has been poking them about maybe covering a detransitioner, and we got this question from John DeLynn. Would you like to have respectful, evidence-based conversations about transgender detransitioning? Please share why or not in the comments.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Why does it just say Jonathan Streeter? Why does it just say Jonathan Streeter? Do you see that?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I thought it said like with Jonathan Streeter, but no, you're right. It just says, why you want to do this, Jonathan? Because it's dumb.
Well, Jonathan never once said he had to be the person talking about it, but of course, all the answers came in like, no, because Jonathan Streeter's a bigot. Jonathan Streeter's a bigot. Yes, let's discuss transgender detransitioning in evidence-based, respectful ways. 50%.
Okay, but like here's the thing. Jonathan Streeter is a bigot because he opposes the whole trans ideology thing. If DeLynn is asking, would you like to have respectful, evidence-based conversations here about transgender detransitioning? Please share why or why not in the comments. And a lot of the comments, you're right, do say like, I'm willing to do that, but not with Jonathan Streeter. Holy fuck. Jonathan is the most tame bastard on this subject in the world. He's very knowledgeable on it, but he is tame as shit. What you're saying is that, like,
they're not going to find a person.
Yeah, I'm like, name me a
person. Let's find somebody who's more. They're not like.
You're not going to find
this right here.
You're not going to find
Streeter. Absolutely not. Not from the perspective of trans women. Jonathan Streeter has exactly zero credibility on the subject. And anytime there was something that was calling him out, whining about it, looky there. There's Mormon Stories podcast hearting it.
Yeah, they're expecting to find the Patrick Mason of gender ideology, and it's just not gonna happen.
There's probably some out there, like I mean,
well, okay, but
that are critical, but then we'll still like, I will grant you all the things.
Okay, but that's not critical, though. That's the thing is Patrick Mason is fake critical of the ex-Mormon community. He's like, actually, no, I hold my Mormon beliefs very seriously, but
you guys are right about everything. And we're too mean to you, and you're not mean enough to us, and you guys are great.
I think the amount of answers, though, like you said, you're surprised. I mean, 47% are just like, yeah.
That's how silent the majority is. We don't realize it ever. And the first time I started to realize it was the amount of people at work who would like physically in person tell me that they liked my Facebook shenanigans, but none of them like threw a like out there. And I'm not shitting on them. That's fine. I understand not wanting to put that stuff out there, but like, oh yeah, I saw that thing where you're arguing about trannies. That was hilarious. It takes a great deal more effort to seek someone out and say like, the shit you said here is it was on point, rather than just click. I get that like 2 or 3 times a week at work. So the majority is silent. They don't say things. They don't want to rock the boat.
88% of college kids. But you get audience captured.
Yeah, that was
audience
wild.
captured by your most. What is it here? 12% saying no. Let's not discuss it.
Well, there's 88% saying yes and 12% saying no, but the 12%, they sound real mad.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with them.
Then all the rest are like, leave it alone, which I would put on the other side of they probably agree with it, but they don't want to rock the boat. So leave it alone.
You sound like South Park Michael Jackson. No, you're ignorant. You're ignorant.
Here's somebody who actually went through it. My stepdaughter felt that she was a boy in transition non-medically when she was 7. My partner and mother were very supportive, but when she hit puberty, she decided she was not a boy or detransition. My partner and her mother were both very supportive. Unfortunately, her initial transition was due to being labeled as a tomboy and different. Her experience fits the mold of why more conservative people want to put age limits on transitioning medically. This is one of the things, like a bunch of people posted a link of the CAS report, the CAS lady saying outright, these people who study this stuff, knowing that the vast majority of kids just outgrow it at puberty.
Oh, yeah. Like, at what point did you realize it was lefties you were going to have to argue against and saying we shouldn't be legally allowed to lop the tits off of healthy 15-year-old girls? That's not a thing you ever like prep yourself for. That's not a thing you think is ever really gonna happen. But if you had asked almost anyone in, I don't know, 2008, like, okay, this is gonna be an argument at some point, who do you think you're arguing against?
This is one of the weird, rare things about me, is that I was one of the persons being told and kind of being signaled that they were trying to do this. I was just dumb to not think that it could catch on mainstream. Like, I was like, that won't catch. That's not going to catch, you know? And then for a while, starting to notice it catching, I was the one sounding crazy, telling people that it was picking up, you know? And then it even picked up even more than I ever thought it would. And then there's still people who bury their head in the sand about it. It's vanishingly small. No, it's not. You just haven't looked hard enough at it, or you're burying your head in sand. So I mean, I knew it was the left from the start, but I didn't think it would be kind of normie lefties. Like, I did not think it would pick up with. I was like, this can't. I remember very consciously thinking, like, it can't get that far. And then
you underestimated the level of retardation.
Yeah. I even thought it was like quaint and cute because it was so niche at the time. And I remember I was forced to watch all these movies by Pedro Almodovar, and they were telling us how brilliant the movies are. If you don't know, there's this Spaniard who Javier Bardem come out of that world, and so did what's her name? Kind of hot gal from the time frame. I'm forgetting her name.
Salma Hayek.
The other one.
Penelope Cruz.
That's it. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea what you're talking about. I was like, hot Latinos from decades ago.
Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem were very big actors for Pedro Almodovar, and that's how they got their start and came over here. I think Antonio Banderas even did a show or two. And all the shows, there's this one, like, if you look it up, it's called All About My Mother, and it's just about trans issues. And you're just watching the whole thing and you're like, okay, and this is the most brilliant thing ever. It's just so incredible. And you're like, it was just a bunch of trans degenerates running around. And like, that's so brilliant. Oh my gosh. You're watching it in college being like, I guess I'm missing something. But
I'm the retard. I
Yeah.
tell people this all the time. So, have you ever seen like a radiological glove box?
Mm-mm.
So it's just the big box where they have contaminated radiological material inside, and it's a glass box and it has holes in it, but the holes have gloves in them, so you can reach in and with the gloves manually handle the contaminated material without touching it. And that this is in all nuclear labs. It's a very common thing. And then when they get old, companies like my company come in and they'll contract us out to take those down in a radiological safe manner. Anyway, these glove boxes, they come in segments, right? There's glass with some metal flanges on the side in one segment, and then the same thing for the next segment, and the two metal flanges are bolted together. Anyway, so we're supposed to take down this gigantic glove box that's like 10 feet tall. Anyway, one of my buddies is sitting there looking at it, and he's talking to the guy that's like the boss that's in charge, and he's like, well, I'm thinking what we could do, right, is we take a power saw and we start cutting into this glass like this, and we go straight down, and we keep going. And what we could do for the radiological half of it is we can have a point source vacuum right there to suck up any contamination, which is something we commonly do, right? Anytime they're cutting something radiological, and you could just cut this thing in half and then take it out. And I was pretty new at the time, so I'm like looking at it and I'm like, well, these metal flanges are just bolted together. Why don't we just undo the bolts? But also, I didn't say that because in my head I was like, well, okay, this guy's been here longer. He knows more things than I do. So, and he'd have to be retarded to ignore this obvious solution. And I don't think he's that retarded. So I'm going to go ahead and just assume he doesn't understand that. And the boss is listening to his ideas like, yeah, okay, maybe. And then 2 days later, the guy's telling me, hey, remember how the boss really liked my idea of cutting the box in half? I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, he had an even better idea. And this is wild. They're bolted together. We can just undo the bolts. We don't have to saw it in half at all. I was like, oh, fuck, you are that retarded. you really are that retarded. Sometimes people are as dumb as they let on.
Yeah. Let me see this cash report. This is one of the persons that was the two major studies that came out highly questioning all the stuff were the cash report and the WPATH files stuff. I'm sure John DeLynn has not read, or if he has read, he read some small breakdown from the Young Turks or something about why it's a great big lie.
Even amongst the traditional cohort of the birth registered boys who presented prepubertally, most of them grew up to be gay men. So it's probably quite a tiny number who are going to grow up, but I can't give you figures.
A tiny number. They knew what was his name? Dr. Z. It started with a Z in Canada. The very first person to study this stuff knew it was well over 80% of them that as soon as they hit puberty, they just got okay with their bodies and yeah.
I like cock.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Yeah. Dr. Bigot?
No, it starts with a Z. No, he was a studier of. He was a hardcore guy, and he got completely canceled for just telling people the truth about this.
Yeah, he was a bigot.
Oh, it starts with a Z. Dr.
Zagarian. That's true.
Oh, why am I forgetting his name?
Oh well.
Do you want to Jonathan wrote kind of like a long thing explaining where he's coming from about this stuff to one of the persons that I'm sure none of them read. And I tried to like bold and highlight to get the stuff, but I don't think I think it's still just like a kind of a wall of text, but I think it's worth looking at. It started with, I get where you're coming from, because it was somebody saying it was responding to that person says anybody but Jonathan Streeter.
Wait, you want me to read it?
Yeah.
It says, I get where you're coming from, and I agree. People should have freedom to make their own choices, even if they're retarded. I'm not advocating that people shouldn't have the freedom to show up in society any way they choose. My concern is about making sure the current approach for young people, especially teens, is solid when it comes to significant irreversible steps like hormones or surgery.
It's Kenneth Zucker.
Kenneth Zucker, okay.
Yeah.
They definitely didn't read that part, because I find the majority of these people still don't find hormones reversible. I think a lot of people at this point will admit that surgery is reversible, but when you say surgery, they generally think you're talking about bottom surgery instead of top surgery.
Yeah.
Because when you say we're conducting gender affirming surgery on minors and that's fucked up, they'll be like, no, we're not. No, we're doing a lot of double mastectomies on healthy, otherwise healthy young girls.
medicalizing.
Yeah. Teens are still figuring out who they are, and we know a lot of things feel 100% certain at that age, but can change later. The worry is that even if detransition or regret is uncommon, the consequences for those who do experience it can be heavy. Things like infertility, lifelong sexual dysfunction, or lifelong medical consequences that they might not fully have understood up front. Young people don't have the life experience yet to weigh that fully, so informed consent feels like a real question here. That's a good point. The lifelong sexual dysfunction is a portion of this that I think often gets downplayed, because we play up infertility, and infertility is bad. Like if you are sterilizing children, you're a piece of shit and you belong in jail, right? But the sexual dysfunction, it's hilarious, because anytime you bring this up to trans rights activists, they'll be like, what do you mean sexual dysfunction? And you'll say, well, they can never orgasm. Like, oh, why are you thinking about little kids' orgasms? It's like, well, okay, you're the one that brought this thing into the paradigm here. And you're saying, can I do this surgery on your kid that will mean he never has an orgasm? Which, thanks for asking me that, by the way, because I never wanted to think about my kid having an orgasm. But orgasms are pretty fucking great. And I assume at some point he'll want to do that. And if your surgery, if your intervention, it's not even surgery that does it, it's hormones that do it. If your hormones do that to him,
in one
then
of those
I
studies,
will want to hurt you.
In one of those studies, they found that like most of the kids did say that they wanted children in the future and had no idea that they were putting that at risk. It was either in the WPATH files or the
Well, and it's like, here's the other crazy
because they're
part.
kids. They're kids.
I know. The other crazy part about emphasizing fertility is that like everybody acted so shocked with the with the CAS report talking about how this intervention sterilizes kids. I don't know how that shocked anyone. I really don't. I don't know. This is a Scott Adams thing. I don't know how. I could have saved you money.
Yeah,
in this 100%.
The first second I heard any of that, I was like, no, that jacks you. The first second I heard as a kid, as a teenager, and somebody started talking about taking steroids, I was like, no, that'll jack you up. And that's same sex stuff that doesn't jack you up anywhere near as bad.
Sure, I get that, but what like the goal with puberty blockers, if you are indeed an authentic trans woman, the goal is not to just block puberty, but to eliminate it entirely, so that your voice never drops, so that your body never really changes, and that you so you can better pass as a woman. And puberty is the thing that makes you fertile. So why would we be shocked when we find out, oh, this drug that totally eliminates puberty, the thing that makes you fertile, it makes you infertile later in life? Yeah, no shit. I'm not a medical professional. I knew that the second I heard it. No shit.
it can't go without saying, as we're reading all this, John DeLynn at least 10 times in the past 1 week, because he was saying it a week ago today when they were talking about Dallin H. Oaks' talk, and then he said it in the David Archuleta thing, and he said it in Do We Still Have Mormons thing. He's just repeating do the suicide, help the LGBTs, accept the BGT, the transgender, whatever, or you're going to cause suicide. Just playing right into the emotional blackmail of the whole entire thing. And then doing this whole struggle session, which, well, he wanted it to be a struggle session with Jonathan Streeter here, because he knows he doesn't want to touch it because he's an audience captured by the most rabid portion of his audience, and he doesn't want to rock the boat with him. But they're hard, truthers, autistic truthers, aren't we? So we just, doesn't matter. We're just going to say the truth no matter what the truth is and talk about informed consent because that's what we do. We're truthers.
Informed consent doesn't actually mean anything to them. Anyway, I guess I'll go on.
Informed consent means you got to tell the bad stuff about you, and I don't got to tell the bad stuff about me.
That's exactly what it means. This is not just a MAGA talking point. The WPATH files have disclosed that behind closed doors, even the doctors performing these procedures are aware that the young people they are treating can't comprehend the implications of what they are seeking, but they are overriding those concerns, which would normally be huge red flags in such a significant intervention. On the "it's rare" part, like often quoted in the 1 to 2% regret figures, a lot of studies have issues that make people question them. One, follow-ups are usually short, 1 to 5 years, but regret often shows up much later, like 8 to 11 years on average in some
The
reports.
follow-up's terrible.
I know. It's
Jonathan even underplayed how bad the follow-up.
He underplayed it because it's also, if they can't follow up with a person,
They just market it as good.
Yeah, they market it as totally fine. They was chill with it because he didn't want to follow up. 2, lots of people drop out of studies, 20 to 60% lost to follow-up. Oh, well, there it is. And if those who stop treatment or feel bad are more likely to disappear, the numbers look better than they really are. 3, some only count super narrow things like official legal changes or clinic complaints.
This stuff's also recent. Nobody's even felt what's going to happen yet to all these kids that had happened to. It hasn't even had time to drop yet.
It hasn't, but I might be beating a dead horse here. But was this something we needed a study on?
No.
Like, did we really need to? If you asked, like, any agrarian farmer over the last couple thousand years, like, if you think if we could, like, sterilize boys and turn them into halfway girls, like, you think that might suck for them? They'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yes, of course. What are you talking? Flat earthers make more sense than you. This was, as Douglas Murray so elegantly puts it, the first thing we knew.
Yeah.
You could convince me that the earth is flat sooner than that you could convince me that males can become females in the human species.
Yeah, I saw somebody complaining or saying, like, you guys should go complain to all your doctors and sue them all because they are all operating at a 100% failure rate.
Yeah.
Not one of you yet has successfully transitioned one of you males into one of you females. Not one of you yet has successfully transitioned one of the females into a male.
So, point number 4, a bunch come from older adult groups with stricter rules, which might not match today's faster paths for teens. You don't say. You mean back in the 60s, it was a little bit less accessible to get your tits lopped off when you were 15?
Crazy.
I also love that argument, by the way. The, like, oh, yeah, it doesn't bother you when 15-year-old girls get nose jobs or breast implants. I'm like,
yes, it does.
Yes, it absolutely does.
I'll tell you what, we can do one of your pork legislations and we can add it all in there.
Fuck yeah, of course.
No cosmetic surgery under 18.
Yeah. The Jews will be really mad because that's essentially all circumcision is. But sure, no cosmetic surgery under 18. This doesn't mean that data should be disregarded. Only that when you look at studies that claim something on either side of this issue, you need to examine how the study was designed and reported and make sure that there aren't things that have implications for the conclusions. This is an important part of medical media literacy for the medical establishment and the public at large. When people respond to the doctors who have pointed out these shortcomings in study design, get called transphobes with an axe to grind rather than confront the legitimacy of those criticisms.
Or we all get kicked off of Mormon Stories except for Jonathan Streeter.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's just a truth environment of truth and informed consent truth.
I think trans issues have been the reason I was kicked out of 3 different ex-Mormon groups.
I was kicked out of there for trans issues. As far as I know, that was the last thing I commented on.
Well, and by the way, I never brought it up.
No, I didn't bring it up either. All I said is, what if I posted something to counter this? That's what I got kicked out for. Didn't post the counter. I said, what if I posted something to counter?
I hope you can see that there are some potential risks in having the data and the interpretation of the data distorted. I'm not claiming the rates are sky high, just that the data has enough holes that we shouldn't shut down discussion. This also doesn't mean that medical professionals shouldn't be able to explore these therapies in any other interventions. A cohort of patients that later decide that the motivation for the permanent irreversible intervention was an error should trigger a pause and a search for a more refined set of criteria so that selection of patients where I lost it.
Do you see my mouse or no?
Oh, yeah. Selection of patients for the intervention better identifies those who will not experience regret. Improved patient selection would serve to minimize such significant negative outcomes. But the current environment that has turned these decisions into a proxy war over politics and what constitutes compassion has made it impossible for this type of pause and reflection to take place in the professional medical community, as well as discussion forum like this. People with legitimate concerns get labeled as bigots and fearmongers rather than concerned doctors or parents. Medicine has pulled back on things before when rare long-term risks popped up. You can research medical misadventures like DES, thalidomide, lobotomies, and in many of these cases, the enthusiasm for the promises of the intervention blinded the professionals to objectively looking at the evidence and efficacy of things went further than they would have if people were careful in how they examined evidence and outcomes before applying it widely. So, I think we both would like to see people get the help that they need, and we probably come to the discussion with some different ideas about what that means, and that's okay. I think that the freedom to listen and try to understand each other that will help us better help us better make sense of it all. Shutting down one side of the conversation or celebrating one side of the issue without confronting the drawbacks does come with some risks. I hope open dialogue can mitigate some of that. If you'd like, I can adjust the bolding to be lighter / heavier or tuned for a specific audience.
Oh, that's what I put I asked it to bold certain things so I could zip through it quicker. But
this is
ChatGPT. Yeah, I could barely see the boldings in that though. They're there.
Yeah.
There's like a bolding right there.
Look at Jonathan over here. He's fucking sea lioning.
Yeah, you can't let Jonathan Streeter in there because that's just so biggity. Oh, what's this? Michael Shermer, somebody you featured on the show, somebody you featured on Mormon Stories as a skeptic and a great thinker and somebody to super duper supersonic think about. Although Jonathan DeLynn got very mad that he kind of backed off of calling the church a cult. But Michael Shermer, supersonic, super special Michael Shermer. Here he is commenting on this G transition that we showed that said nobody told her that it would completely dry up her vagina to go on those hormones. Horrifying detransitioner shares details about the irreversible side effects of testosterone on her body. She says none of the medical professionals properly inform on what taking testosterone actually entails. Warning, graphic. Michael Shermer. It would seem that 14-year-old girls are not learning in 8th sex ed class that if they transition to a boy that they will experience vaginal dryness and pelvic floor collapse and never give birth vaginally as adults. I will stop posting these when this madness ends. That's a little bit less kind than Jonathan Streeter there.
It is.
But Michael Shermer was featured on the channel.
Okay, so weeks ago I made fun of the Wegovy ads, talking about how we're willing to be less fat. Even like the side effects that they have to list, those got to be pretty rare, right? Like you take Wegovy and you get suicidal thoughts. How often does that happen?
Wegovy?
Yeah, Ozempic.
Oh. How frequent does it happen?
Yeah, how frequent
My
does it
guess?
Yeah.
Like you're saying the actual side effect percentage, I'm guessing?
The side effect of having suicidal thoughts after taking Ozempic or other
What
GLP.
percentage people get it?
Yeah.
At this point, probably only like 10%.
10? Oh, that's higher than what I thought. Honestly, I assume, I mean, it might be 10. I really don't know. This is just me flying off the cuff. I just kind of assumed it was pretty fucking low, but they still have to put that in the ads, you know?
Yeah.
They still have to say, like, you know, you might want to kill yourself if you take this anti-fat medicine. But you'll be less fat.
Yeah, I
Or-
guess I did overshoot it of like what you'd think it'd be. Stuff's almost always like a 2% thing. I was going at 10% because obviously I'm wrong. I'm thinking like most people are very obese, like who are already kind of in suicidal realm, so they start taking it, you know. But I'm totally wrong about that because it's mostly celebrities. But
yeah.
celebrities are already mostly pretty suicidal too.
Well, it's
Yeah.
also mostly moms, you
Yeah.
know, that are taking Wegovy right now. But anyway, like the point is, you have to list these. Like there are laws stating that you have to list these potential side effects. Even if the percentage of those side effects are almost negligible. And I'm fine with those laws, but the fact that like you just get to say this will make you not want to kill yourself, these testosterone injections that we're giving you, but you don't have to tell them. Also, if you decide to give birth, it'll never be vaginally, and also you will experience pelvic floor give out and vaginal dryness. How would you not have to warn them of that? And I don't know,
Of a
maybe
group of people that already are
maybe
prone to be 50%ers.
Maybe I don't know, maybe they weren't paying attention when they disclosed that to them. But like, what surgeries do they not disclose definite, like not just 10% chance side effects, but definite side effects that you will have? It's like getting a knee surgery and they never say that, like, oh yeah, you won't be able to walk on your right leg for weeks. You know, it feels like we have a different standard of disclosure for this type of thing than for other types of things.
Well, speaking about the standard of like disclosure for it, I mean, I just, not to watch the whole video, but I just had this guy today who does a lot of good stuff on trans, King Critical, who goes into depth about the problems with a lot of Judith Butler stuff and different claims from people all over the internet. And then he has this whole thing where he's thinking about does the trans debate lack humanity? And part of the whole entire thing, this 35 minutes on this topic is treated singularly as something nobody's allowed to talk about. And all the ex-Mormons know that you can talk about it one way, right? And all the ex-Mormons who stand on their lofty hill of truthiness, of fearless inquiry into whatever's true epistemology of the world.
Oh yeah, the truth.
As I said, you flush it all down the toilet because you can't talk about one issue that is an issue that affects everybody.
The truth doesn't fear investigation.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told by ex-Mormons.
and it's obviously a big. Oh, it's fleetingly small. So who cares? That's something. You see that somebody like confronted Hillary Clinton about her party just kind of flushing everything away for the trans issue, and she's like, well, "You care about some kids transitioning when people are dying in Ukraine?" Did you see that one?
The Dow is over 50%. Okay, far be it for $50,000. Far be it for me to defend Pam Bondi, because when I was talking earlier about physiognomy, I was trying to come up with I was trying to come up with a word for like auditory physiognomy, like physiognomy, but sonically speaking, as in the sound of someone's voice.
Yeah, like
making you. And that's, I've told people before,
tone or pitcher.
Trump should be keel-hauled for hiring Pam Bondi based exclusively on the fact that her voice is so obnoxious. Holy fuck. I felt, anytime I hear her speak, I feel like I'm being chewed out by some PTA mom or some shit. She is annoying regardless of what she says, correct or not. Like, she could say everything that I agree with, I would still hate her. Anyway, go on.
I was just gonna try to find the Hillary Clinton thing, but
the Dow is up. Good job, Hillary.
I think I have some of those memes, Pam Bondi too.
Oh yeah, no, that's me defending Pam Bondi. Is like her Dow Jones thing, that was stupid. That was retarded. But how do we not crucify Hillary Clinton for the same thing? You know, because she did the exact same thing here. Maybe it's because her voice is less obnoxious. Her voice is very obnoxious, but less so than Pam Bondi's. But when she does the exact same thing, and you're like, yeah, you guys really screwed yourself on that whole trans issue. And she's like, people are dying in Ukraine. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it, but dang, I know I had it here, but I'm not finding it fast enough. But yeah, there was just a.
I'll send you a good Pam Bondi one. I sent it to the Facebook group chat.
I had one that I actually just clicked on it, so I know I have it somewhere, but I can't find it again. Pam Bondi sealing away the Epstein files in order to save America. The Dow is over 5,000. Well, I don't know how I'm missing it because I just accidentally clicked on it and it popped up. Let me see here, and then I can't search for it. Why does everybody make that sound? I just made it too. When you're looking for stuff, you do this. That drives me nuts. And I just did it. Here's in the meantime, a good one about
it's
using AI.
Where the hell are they from again? Yugoslavia, Commandant.
It's Larry David.
Where the hell are they from again? Yugoslavia, Commandant. I've got to make room.
They know it was you. They know it was you that made the chest big.
I am a tit guy. I'll admit that. I don't want everyone knowing that. I don't want everyone to think I'm some kind of tit monster.
So you gave all the women in Schindler's List huge tits?
It's a test.
Schindler's.
You need footage to test with. You use whatever's lying around. I was testing the Chinese models.
Where the hell are they?
Oh.
That's a pretty good one. Dang it, man. I have it even like all in order with wording on each one of the things, and I can't find it. And I just clicked on it. But anyway, it was just Pam Bondi. It was Jaws, but Pam Bondi comes out of the water and says the Dow's 5,000 instead of Jaws. Gave away the joke. So now I couldn't even do it if I found it. And then I was trying to find the Hillary Clinton thing where a guy confronted her just saying, like, what are you guys? I think you guys burned everything on the trans issue. And she's like, well, How can you be saying that in Ukraine's? Yeah, I mean, it's just exactly that. So I guess I described both of them. Wasted a bunch of time looking for them.
I tell you, I triggered. I don't say triggered lightly, by the way. That's like a 2017 term that needs to die. But a bunch of conservatives in my local group, like my
How's that?
my Ben Shapiro petition that I made.
Oh yeah, I have that right here. If I can find that, I should stop saying that when I'm doing such a shit job finding right here stuff that I just said I had right here.
Well,
hold on. I know this one's close to the top. God damn it!
Maybe.
Jeebs, damn it!
Concern it.
Found it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody watching, go sign the petition. This is very important to me. Friends and family, please take a moment to look at and sign my petition. I generally don't like to make activistic waves like this, but Ben Shapiro must be stopped. He's gone too far, and we must take a stand against cringe. So I made a petition to make it illegal for Ben Shapiro to say, "My dude." Anyway, I posted this in my local Facebook group, my Idaho Falls Facebook group. Man, a bunch of people somehow do not realize that this is sarcasm.
Were they pro Shapiro or?
Yeah, it's a bunch of conservatives. Like, oh, so you want to limit speech? And I'm like, dude, look, I'm a free speech advocate, but this is too much. You know, there's a limit to everything. The petition itself says something like, Ben Shapiro is a huge nerd and possibly a virgin and should not be allowed to say my dude. Sign this. Other than that, I don't really have a problem with the guy. Please sign this petition to make it illegal for him to continue saying my dude. These people are, oh, so you want to silence his opinions? I'm like, no. His opinions are fine. They really are. It's just when he says my dude.
No, my dude. No, my dude.
I want to wedgie him.
To be fair, I wanted to wedgie anybody who ever said that because it used to be like a major bread tube thing. They said it to everybody.
You're right. And I wanted to wedgie everybody who said it, but when he says it, it's somehow even worse than like when Destiny says it. He's just so fucking nerdy, you know? Like, I get it. You're smart. You're a level-headed guy.
But is he doing the ironic thing? Like it's ironic, like his ironic rapping?
That's the thing. His ironic rapping was cringy. He's so nerdy, he can't do things ironically.
Yeah.
I got called a liberal for
What about
that.
What about when he called Candace a retard? Was that just cringe?
Did he call her a retard?
You didn't see that?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was clapping back on her because she said, just say the hard R. Just say the hard R, Ben. I know you want to just say the hard R. She says, I want to say the hard R. Well, I will say it about her. Here it is. You're a retard.
Oh, yeah. I remember. Because I said, oh no, now Ben Shapiro is calling people retards.
Oh yeah, and then you're like, I can't say it anymore. You forgot the thing that made you fall out of love with the word retard?
No! I love that word. Ben Shapiro, stop saying that word. Don't ruin it for me. I love it.
Man, I typed in Shapiro retard into Twitter and it is weird stuff. I haven't seen any porn yet. I don't want to like pull a quartering or something like that. Like, why is this come up with Shapiro retard? Like, okay, here it is. This guy, some sort of retard, whatever this is.
Wow.
There's Shapiro finally, and then there's some like hentai stuff. It's not all the way. Okay. Okay. Okay.
There's retard Shapiro, I guess.
The guys who got called out for cheating at the Olympics said that the cameras were put on them as a.
Oh yeah, imagine cheating in curling.
was the cameras put on them were premeditated acts of catching them.
They discriminatorily thought that we were going to cheat. And like we did, we get that. But like,
but there's just cameras on it all the whole time anyway? Like, what are they?
It's like suspecting that this black dude will steal from your store. So you follow him around a bunch. Like, look, man, I know I stole and stuff. I know I did steal, but shit, man. Y'all done discriminate against. Yeah, but I was right.
Anyway, I brought this up earlier, and there's not gonna be enough time to get into it or anything, but this is the guy. He's from, what's his name? Jason Preston. He runs like We the People of Utah or something like that. The channel We Are the People Utah. I've watched that channel a whole bunch, but I mean, I guess he would get right in line with Cardin. Did the thing here where he says Bo Euler got captured, right? And so now that's a trope. Like Bo Euler did the trope of, I'm like, the trope. I mean, that's kind of the first red-handed we have of that, and that, like, how quickly Cardin can decide something's now a trope. You know what I mean? He's like, we got to be careful because it's an ex-Mormon trope to say this and lie about that stuff.
We're the Jews. Yeah, we know, Cardin.
But this guy, from like a right-wing perspective, is totally into all of the what's that website where they track all the sex offenders in the church, and believes the sexual ritual abuse, and says on Cardin's show here that it's apostles doing it, and Cardin can't believe it because it's the apostles, right? Yeah, and he knows it's at least one or two apostles' names who've been dropped, and this is what happens in the church. The church can go bad, and the church, you know, secret combinations are everywhere, and it was always happening inside the church, type stuff. And he believes all the people. And that's kind of weird because, you know, he is, of course, dropping the Epstein stuff and all that. And I've been on a jag of all the Epstein stuff, of listening to everybody and seeing the moral panic of it and the moral panic of this. And what he talks about, like some of the stuff, Floodlight, that's the chat. There's a website called Floodlight.
Oh, yeah.
That if you go look at it, there's a bunch of stuff where supposedly the church didn't do well on sex cases. And the moral panic of all the stuff, and the other end of it, I think like almost nobody strikes like the right exact chord for me. I mean, of course, a few people do, but it's just kind of like across the board. It's like 100% skepticism or 100% buy into it all the way.
At some point, you feel like you're Mr. Mackey telling people,
raping children is bad. Okay.
Yeah, and
you're like, I don't care who did it. I really don't. It shouldn't happen. We should stop it. Like, oh yeah, what if you find out your precious Trump is in the Epstein files and he raped a bunch of kids? Well, then put him in prison. You know,
yeah, but then there's the flip end of it too. Of there's been some accusations made and some names and some things. Let's burn them all, throw a millstone around all their necks. They're all on fire. They're all guilty. And it's like this guy. This guy just believes everything everybody ever said about any sort of Mormon church person, and they'll point to Floodlight. And I believe like a bunch of the Floodlight stuff. Like on the flip end of things, because Bo Euler lied, it doesn't mean that the church didn't screw up in other ways in the past or tried to cover people. And one of the things that this guy brings up, and I think it's probably true, is I bet you they're more prone to cover when it's some family member of, or even distant relative family member of some high up authority. I bet you they try to bury that or hide it or cover it. And that's probably why, like in my dad's ward or something like that, there's like, whatever, burn the guy. Yeah, you know, call the cops or something like that. You know, I mean, there's no watching out for anybody like right there. But at the same time, too, I do believe Bo Euler could have lied. And I asked Nemo about that because Nemo did a presentation on it. And of course, Diviz did a thing about this too. Like, the church just lies about that. The church just lies about this stuff. I'm like, I don't think they dare to say this because they could probably get countersued or have some sort of discovery. I bet you they have the goods on this one. I bet you the dude lied. But then because that guy lied, Cardin can't then say this is a trope and every single one of them are lying, you know. And that's why I feel like it's kind of going on with the Epstein thing. there's obvious junk or just stuff that doesn't catch it. Like Michael Tracy's making his whole rampage on it. And I saw Robbie Suarez from Reason is also going on a thing about it. You can see his most recent podcast on Unheard and all that sorts of stuff. But there's a ton of slop in there, or there's a ton of misunderstood stuff or things that they're making mountains out of molehills out of. And then there really is kind of wackadoodle stuff. And then I like the thing that Brett Weinstein says, that there's a bunch in there that is objectionable, should be investigated, but it's not actionable. And Michael Tracy is totally right. There's a bunch of these people making the claims and all that stuff are crazy, and they're crazy people. And they have crazy side things. And there's women who were older than children who started with Jeffrey Epstein and probably even participated in helping catch the other girls. So why are we treating them as just victims? They were in some ways victims, but also complicit because they were of age and helping round up other girls. So why are we treating them all like heroes, survivors, or something like that?
Because we're the only ones that treat women as if they have any moral agency.
Yeah.
It's just there's only dozens of us that do that.
But then there's Tracy, not to like totally throw him down, but Tracy's, he says he's open if he sees other evidence, but also until he sees that other evidence, he's going to go ahead and believe that nothing happened and it's a complete moral panic. And I'm like, I'm open to more evidence. I won't fry or actually go down the road of like, okay, get them, burn them, throw the millstone around their neck until I have like the evidence of something on anybody. But that doesn't mean that I won't kind of go, I bet you they did though. You know what I mean? I bet you there's a lot of that in there. And so like Tracy goes all the way the other way. It's like, until I see the evidence, it didn't happen. You know?
Well, no.
Yeah. And but I totally agree. Like until you see the evidence, you can't throw the millstone on them 100%, you know. I guess it all depends on the situation. Like if you caught some guy with your kid and you didn't see like full evidence of them actually raping the kid, but they did something way inappropriate of taking them somewhere they shouldn't have, I think you're allowed to put a millstone on. We'll let that one pass unless the kid's name unless the kid's name is I was gonna make a bad joke. I was gonna say Tilly.
I knew you were gonna say something about Emmett Till. Well, yeah. It's retarded, that's all.
But yeah, it's all with this too. Like this ritual sexual abuse of the Mormon church and people in the church and all that sorts of stuff. And it's like two extremes. It's like didn't happen, like your team didn't happen, or team all of it happened.
Yup.
And you just can't land anywhere in between.
Nope.
And it's just part of society now. We're just stuck in this now. There's no getting out of it.
This is life.
Yeah. Risto asked if we got into it about the abortion stuff on Thoughtful Saints. Did you get into that?
A little bit.
I did not. I didn't even see it.
Oh, Jacob said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
What's that?
I said Jacob said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard him say, where they were talking about, so in the abortion argument, there's the whole cutout for there's cases of the mother's death. That's one issue. And then there's cases of rape and incest. And most pro-lifers really want to carve out exceptions for rape and incest. The problem is that entirely undermines your premises of it undermines your principle of it's a baby and you can't kill it for no good reason, right? Jacob started using the word ensoulment.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We don't know.
I remember that.
Yeah, we don't know when. It depends on when ensoulment happens. I'm like, it's not a Mormon word at all. You pulled that out of your ass, dude. And I got into it a little bit because there's that William guy was going back and forth with Jacob on it, because he says rape and incest should be causes for exception if you seek revelation and to find out if the baby is ensouled. And you're like, okay, so you I don't know, you go to your bishop. Does your bishop have authority for that? I don't know. But let's say he does. Let's say your bishop has authority to seek that revelation. He's like, oh, thank God. Your baby's soul is still up there. Like we have the scheduling's a little bit different on all this shit. Your baby's soul wasn't scheduled to come into the body at until about 20 weeks in. So you got about 8 more weeks that you're good to just kill the body, because you're not killing the baby because it hasn't been ensouled yet. Unfortunately for your buddy over here, her baby was ensouled at 3 weeks pregnant. Like, it was an eager spirit, so she can't get an abortion, but you can. Congratulations, because slaughtering the body that was promised to a soul that is currently awaiting said body, there's nothing wrong with that. But if the soul got to the body, it's kind of squatters' rights type rules that we got going on here. Anyway, that William guy, he had this whole thing where he was asking, you're driving down a road and you see a black trash bag, and for whatever reason, you know that there is a 99% chance that trash bag is just full of trash, and there's a 1% chance that the trash bag has a human child in it. Do you swerve out of the way? And I just responded, that depends. Was it ensouled yet? And then Jacob sort of tongue-in-cheek challenged me to some debate about...
Oh, really?
Not really. It was, I can't remember exactly what he said. It was something along the lines of, oh, you want to talk about women and who are raped and subjected to incest? Like, well, yeah, I think you're killing a person. So, like, I don't know. My response to the whole thing was, the rape and incest cutouts, they're difficult to deal with, and most people don't want to contend with them. So the way that we contend with them is by ass pulling non-words like ensoulment. And my stance on it is that a woman raped was definitely wronged, and a fetus killed was definitely wronged. And hate to sound like a boomer stereotype, but 2 wrongs don't exactly make a right. It was just dumb.
I can't get around.
I didn't even respond to him because the whole thing is dumb.
Well, I mean, in his case, he's just trying to make a cutout for the church's permission to make abortion okay for the rape and the right.
Yeah, he is. I get it. But I don't know, if you're constantly having to ass pull in order to justify your religion, when do you stop justifying it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I know for myself in my own life and all that sorts of stuff, any sort of abortion would have felt like murder to me, and I'm glad I didn't come across that.
You know what's weird is I was talking to my friend the other day. He's just the work guy, the normie dem. And he was telling me about the time that his wife had a miscarriage. He's like, yeah, we almost had a 3rd kid. She got pregnant. She found out. We were devastated because we didn't want to have another kid. But this is the phraseology he used. We decided to, do the right thing and keep the kid. And I didn't press him on it because it's, a really personal thing he's talking to me about. But in my head, I'm like, dude, what do you mean do the right thing? You've argued with me about abortion like several times over the last decade.
Yeah, and then that just kind of comes out with an assumption without an examining of like what the
why is that the right thing? It's not a person. It's not.
Well, you just haven't had that unpacked for you yet. You haven't had that.
Yeah, I know. It's a clump of cells. Why? That's like getting rid of a worm in your asshole at that point, right? Pro-choicers, right? That's like just taking the worm out and like, it's gonna die. It's a parasite.
Well, I watched the Marvel movie, Fantastic Four, and they were offered having their clump of cells exchanged for the survival of all humans.
Why did those fucking idiots like tell the entire world that was the deal? Like, I would also sacrifice the entire world for my son, but I wouldn't. As soon as the deal was presented to me, I would not then come out and be like, "Hello, world." They said either all of you could die or my son could die, and I told them to fuck off because I know exactly how the world would react.
Don't you get it? Don't you know what I mean? You know what I mean? They could.
No. I thought you guys were going to be.
I said it like this. I said it like this. Fuck you, Galacticus. Fuck you. That's how I said it.
I mogged the fuck.
You know, high five. Give me a high five. Yeah.
Yeah. You mess with Spidey, you mess with New York.
Speaking of which, I should have clicked on it because I haven't watched the whole video of it yet. But Matt Walsh also covered that Neil deGrasse Tyson went on Bill Maher and once again advocated for we need to separate sports by hormonal makeup and not by sex.
No, we need to separate sports.
He's so stupid. It's so ridiculous. These guys try to toe these lines.
We need to separate sports by athletic people and theater dipshits like you.
But he was a college wrestler. Like that's one of he's just towing the line. He's a New York scientist.
Yeah, I know.
He's a New York TV scientist, and he's trying to make it sound as plausible as possible. And he knows it's not real and not true. He knows that you can't just go into like a chemical lab and get some girl's hormones, her test level to the same level as his level, and she could have a chance at beating him in wrestling at all. So stupid.
You know when like you have voiced an opinion on something or have an idea and nobody seems to listen to it, but then you hear somebody that you really respect like say the exact same thing and you feel really cool. That's me on the whole trans issue with Adam Carolla. He had what I view as the best take on it is when they come to you and say, well, my son thinks he's my daughter, so he needs to play on the basketball team with your daughter. And you say, fuck off. Anyway, so we were gonna have we're gonna have the away game at Thunder Ridge the other day. You're still here?
And that's how most of society did it.
Yeah, of course. That's how we this going to the Supreme Court. I'm with the trans activists. It's absurd. I'm not with them for the reason they think, because they're always like, oh, this doesn't happen very often. I'm like, yeah, I know it doesn't. So why is it going to the Supreme Court? We should just be able to say, fuck off. No, you don't get a play.
Yeah. And well, I guess we did do that until a couple years ago. And then as Douglas Murray says, everything we knew until yesterday.
First thing we knew.
And now suddenly we all are updated to understanding it this way. I don't have very much stuff, although I was looking at some Seinfeld skit that I can't hear that looks highly interesting. Do you want to try to watch it?
Go for it.
This could be the retarded, not retarded. The other are not
racist.
Yeah, I can't tell. Hold on. Share screen. Okay, watch this. People are making Seinfeld skits.
Jerry, a bullet that size would blow a neck right off.
Jamie, what do you know about guns? They said he had strong bones.
Yeah. It's going to rob the train. Stop being a dork.
Your
You're Jestermaxxing.
Shoshana, I am not Jestermaxxing. You're Looksmaxxing.
Can you give me a ride to school in the morning?
Jerry, do you know about Building 7?
Yes, Kramer, you brought it up twice today already.
I'm robbing the train. Hand over the bag.
Stop being a fool.
When has a building ever collapsed into its own footprint like that from a fire?
He's starting to like it. I can watch a whole season of that, man.
Yeah, you gotta send me that. That was fucking awesome.
I got the hiccups from it.
No, Kramer, not this again. Jerry.
Did you hear about Building 7?
He starts to realize that just killing the people on the train can solve his problems. I'm getting that totally seemed like a Seinfeld arc of him starting to slowly kind of like, oh, I guess I kind of like this. And Kramer seeing the Jews come out of the tunnels. Okay. All right. And then it linked back to clavicular and Jestermaxxing and Looksmaxxing. So I guess that's full circle. Come back all the way to the end, except now I got the hard hiccups.
Yeah, me too, Jack. I actually, after you said that, I started hiccuping. So, I hate hiccups. Fuck off.
I hate them too. Probably just comes from the COVID shot. It messed up our hearts. Anyway, I got to get going. I got a doggy staring at me.
Alrighty.
And it's that time. He knows.
I got some Vigi games to play.
Which one?
I don't know.
You want to know what? I've been playing the new Hades, and I like the old Hades. I liked it okay, the playing wise. But now that I watch those videos of like modern games, it gets in my it's gonna get in my head because it's totally cluttered with voices and people talking to you like that constantly, and and all the current day phrases and all the stuff. And it does drive me nuts. Like that, watching those little skits made me realize it was driving me nuts, and it's why I've been having a hard time putting it on to play.
Yep, it'll do it. It's painful.
Yeah. All righty. Starbase Stronghold Crusader. What's that? Do you know that one?
I don't.
I do not know it.
I don't know. I don't know new games.
I don't either. Although I have been thinking about it, it would be nice to play a good one. Although, I mean, I watched Razorfist review all of the AAA games just this past week, and I don't think there's anything coming out that isn't messed up by the same people who mess up all Hollywood movies.
Well, see, for me, it's because I need a game that isn't. I like the story-driven games, but I can't do story-driven games right now because I got to pause them every 4 seconds because I got a bunch of kids. So, which, trade-offs.
Yeah. Alrighty. Got to run.
All right. Well,
enjoy Stronghold Crusader. All right.
See ya.
Check later. Bye.